Hey, my name is King, or as some of you might know me better, Israel. I've gotten around, but hopefully you recognize me from my own channel, King Tannic. There's a new show coming to the Burnettwork that I think is pretty exciting. Welcome to the Otaku Experience, hosted by yours truly. There is going to be a weekly series where we dive into the news and the world of anime, manga, and whatever the heck else Japan has to offer us. The show will be pre-recorded and premiere on Thursdays at 2 p.m. Pacific Time or 5 p.m. Eastern right here on the Burnettwork YouTube channel.
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett. I invite you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on YouTube. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movies. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, and of course, your pharaoh of physical media, Robert Meyer Burnett, and this is Let's Get Physical Media. I don't know why I try. Episode 98. 98. We are 2 weeks away from our 100th episode. Hopefully we're going to get guests and throw a party like Hugh Hefner style. We're going to have playmates running around, throwing discs at people. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, you don't care about that. You know what you do care about? You care about your favorite German, my favorite German, everybody's favorite German, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. Dieter Bastian.
Hello, and as a greetings, imagination connoisseurs, Dieter here. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane, and welcome to the B&B Motel and the Superbowl edition. But Rob, we have leftovers from last show because I couldn't open my package last week, and I still have it unboxed or boxed. So let's start immediately with physical media. Rob.
Wow, we never do that. What a shocking!
But I can't wait, Rob.
A shocking turn of events.
Yeah, this was still 1.5 weeks in his package, but now let's open this bad boy up because I haven't seen it. So this is the inside.
Oh, all the way from is that from Korea, bro?
Yes, it is, Rob.
Yeah.
This was something I stumbled across. I didn't know about this release, and then I stumbled across it, and I had to get it. So let's see if I can put it out. So this is really nicely packaged, and I had to switch to eBay to get it because from the label it was already sold from the studio, and I actually haven't seen it.
What?
No. More to scissor here.
I should get some theme music to play, suspenseful theme music.
And I don't know if you have seen the series, Rob. This is the special edition for Park Chan-wook's The Little Drummer Girl.
Wow.
The series.
Wow, dude, that is
and this
dope.
is the director's cut of the series, Rob, which I didn't know existed. And I haven't watched the show. I haven't seen it. So let's open this beauty up and see.
Wow, dude, I'm getting aroused. I got blood flowing to my nether regions. I'm so excited.
There are
wow.
3 different editions, Rob, and even the other 2 are great. There were, I think, steelbooks of some kind, but this is the big one. this is the big one, and I haven't seen.
Okay, how did you find out about this?
On my website, of one of my websites, Rob, that I frequently use, where they compare movies if they are censored or what is different in their versions, I stumbled across this. I did know about the series, but I haven't seen the series, and I didn't know there was a director's cut version, and there were the links to the series and to the different versions that you could order, but all were sold out already, and I had to go to eBay to get this one. But consider that, like you with your Highlander set, I did pay a little bit overpriced, but if I think about if I would have to pay customs, it would have been the same.
Yeah.
The series is with Florence Pugh and Alexander Skarsgård. It's from Park Chan-wook. And I don't know. I think there is another series, an older one, that has the same title. I don't know if this is just a new version. Like I said, the series is called The Little Drummer Girl.
That box is dope.
So let me see what is inside this box, Rob. Like I said, 1.5 weeks. I haven't had to wait, Rob, to open
Wow.
this. And this is, like I said, Rob, the director's cuts of the episodes of the series.
And it's based on the John le Carré novel, right?
Yeah, I think so, Rob. So we have two.
Like the movie.
Yeah, we have two thick booklets here. Little bit of a passport with this Florence picture here. I stumbled across.
Nice. It's pretty sweet,
So I'm
dude.
really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to watch the series because I have not seen the series, and I believe, could be wrong, Rob, the series is not on Netflix or any of the usual streaming services, as far as I know. So what do we have else here? An essay book is in it. So this is the first.
Is that in English or Korean?
Let me. It is in English, Rob. English and Korean.
Nice.
Both. You will find both.
By the way, I have to tell you, the Google Translate app, I am no longer fearful of buying any text in a foreign language. The Google Translate app, if you use it on your phone, it immediately transforms any language, and I mean any language, Chinese, Arabic. Get it? I've been using it to build my space battleship Andromeda model. It works great. Can't wait to start delving into reading all my German media books you sent me. Woo-hoo.
I actually have no idea what this is, Rob. I have no idea. Perhaps I have to.
Maybe they're drumsticks. Are they miniature drumsticks?
I have no idea if I can open this up. I will leave it at that point. Perhaps after the show I will see if there's something to open here. I have no idea. And then we get to this piece here. A lot of swag.
That's some swag, dude. Here. That's some serious swag.
Yeah, 1979. Some little matchstick book and film stripe, and
God bless our Asian brethren. They love making cool paper swag. It's the best.
Exactly. I hope there will be some discs in it too, Rob. So another folder with a lot of
the dossiers and all that. Swag. Wow,
unbelievable. Old picture here. The side. This is insane. So, and another one. So we have 3 actually, with just. It will be nice to delve into this one a little bit more extensively when I get the time. Here we have nice passport photos from Michael Shannon. It's in the series 2. So I could make a new passport like Michael Shannon. So the third one. This is the version, Rob. This is it. This you could buy separately. Exactly. This is the big one with all the swag, but this you can buy 2.
Okay.
This is the disc, the steelbook.
Even that's nice.
Yeah, exactly. But I went all in, Rob. I thought, come, let's get the big one here.
That's what she said. I'm sorry, that was
I
low hanging fruit. That's not worthy of us.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's not worthy of us.
And I believe you could get it in 2 cover versions, I believe. This is only one. I think there were 2. And in it, let me just see, Rob. Oh, everything is really packaged again. So this is the book you will get when you buy the steel book.
That's nice.
With it, because this was a little bit on the not so pricey side. And this is the steel book, which looks nice too. But like I said, I have not seen the series, and now that I stumbled across that this is a director's cut version from the John Park book.
That's very cool. Wow, what a cool steelbook that is. Wow.
And here's the insides. Insane. So we probably can't top it for the rest of the show. So, but this was a leftover from last week.
Oh.
A little drummer girl from Korea, special edition.
Well, that's very cool.
Special edition.
Now I can rip into Disney. Can I rip into Disney?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, folks.
Why I put everything back together.
Yeah, while he puts everything back together, as you all know, Disney and Warner Brothers are both celebrating their 100th anniversaries in 2023. And we have talked about how Warner Brothers is incorporating movies that they did not make, MGM movies like Gone with the Wind and Wizard of Oz, 2001: A Space Odyssey, which are all part of MGM's wonderful historical legacy throughout the 20th century and the history of cinema. Warner Brothers is taking credit for those movies because they acquired them, which I suppose, for me, Hollywood history means a lot. And watching the Jewish contribution to the founding of Hollywood being wiped away by the Academy Museum because of ridiculous political ideology, which is pernicious, we now have Disney's 100th anniversary. And of course, for those of you who weren't keeping score at home, Disney acquired 20th Century Fox Studios, the great legacy of 20th Century Fox. They changed the name back to its original name, which was 20th Century Studios, before it became 20th Century Fox. Well, they've announced, as part of their 100th anniversary, they have repackaged what? Say it with me now. Star Wars. Here's the packaging. Here is the packaging for the Steelbook. And boy, I understand that Disney's 100th anniversary, they kind of have this metal. This kind of goes in along with the Disney Treasures sets that they were doing a while ago on DVD. So here is the Disney 100th anniversary Star Wars disc. Here is Star Wars. How creative. This packaging is creative. Here is The Empire Strikes Back. For those of you who missed my sarcasm, I'm being sarcastic. And here is Return of the Jedi with Darth Vader. Now, somebody probably took 10 minutes to design these. Here's my problem. Disney did not make Star Wars. If you want to make 100th anniversary packaging of The Force Awakens and anything after that, by all means, go ahead. But, it was Alan Ladd Jr. After George Lucas had success with American Graffiti, even Universal didn't want to make Star Wars. Star Wars is a key moment in 20th Century Fox history. You had one smart executive willing to bet the farm on someone like George Lucas. Well, not the farm, but, putting up like 11 million bucks to make Star Wars. Now, what's distressing is if Disney is going to acquire movies from 20th Century Fox, why don't they talk about the rich legacy of 20th Century Fox, the studio, as well? And not to be something that rubs me the wrong way is 20th Century Fox was co-founded by people like Daryl Zanuck, who was a Protestant, but it was also founded by Jewish mavericks that came to America and founded the studio. And it's weird to see a studio like Disney scrubbing away the history of 20th Century Fox. And I don't normally get political on this show, or but in this case, it just rubs me the wrong way. If you're going to take credit for a film that was not part of your legacy, why not also take credit for the studio that you acquired? The same way that you acquired the movies, you also acquired the studio. I don't see that there's anything wrong with Disney saying brand it with the 100th anniversary by all means, but why not call it part of the 20th Century Fox collection? Because what Disney did was it acquired 20th Century Fox and its legacy of movies. It didn't just acquire movies, but I would say do both. First of all, do better, studios. If you acquired a studio, give the studio credit, because you did not make these films. They are not part of your legacy. Buying a studio, or in the case of Warner Brothers, they bought a library. They acquired a library from Turner, I guess. But why not credit the actual company and the mavericks that were responsible for making those movies? Because no one in your rich history, and my God, Warner Brothers has a rich history, why not give credit where credit is due? It costs nothing. So Disney, if you're going to brand, it's probably too late, but if you're going to brand your 100th anniversary movies and take credit for films that you didn't make, that weren't made at your studio, why not give you a sub-branding, the 100th anniversary legacy of Disney or whatever, and as part of the Fox collection, and make sure people know that you acquired 20th Century Fox. It's part of your history. And to not mention that, and to just be, yep, Disney made Star Wars in 50 years. I guess not that it really matters, because history is written by the winners, right? But we're now living in a world where we live in a world where people are literally just making shit up. And at the end of the day, when people start, they're making up science. And when we have to go build things and make things, 50 years, 100 years from now, what if we have some massive calamity and all of this institutional knowledge is lost, God forbid? Preserving the proper historical record is essential. And I know as there's war in Ukraine and people are trapped in rubble in earthquake-ridden countries like Turkey and Syria, why are we talking about this? Because this is a physical media show and the show must go on. Life is a continuum of all different kinds of things happening at once. But this really irks me because I've, went to film school and studied the history of Hollywood my whole life. And it's really disheartening to see two studios concurrently wipe away the rich history that they are the custodians of. And especially a studio that was co-founded by Jews being scrubbed away by Walt Disney. Not a good look. Not a good look. And anyway, just something I wanted. Listen, I don't want to get all political on you, but if I'm going to get political, why shouldn't it be on Let's Get Physical Media? So there you go. There you go. So there's my little aside. Once again, for the folks at home, we have, of course, the Star Wars Steelbook. And by the way, can you guys do a little better? Really? Of all the great artwork that exists, Star Wars, Empire, and there's Jedi. So what?
How they would sell, even with the bad design, if they were the original versions of the movies.
Well, this is yes. There's no, and I'll tell you something else. Does it mention that this is the Star Wars Special Edition on this packaging? No. And I understand. Look, for whatever reason, I am a Marsha Lucas subscriber. I subscribe to the Marsha Lucas theory that when George Lucas created the Star Wars special editions in 1997, the films received a new copyright, which means they were no longer the movies, and he didn't have to pay Marcia anymore. Marcia, cash in that trilogy money. Look, for whatever reason, I understand George doesn't like Marcia Lucas, but again, the rich legacy of Star Wars. The Star Wars Special Edition is not as good as the original Star Wars. The other two movies I can live with more.
Yeah.
But the original Star Wars, the verisimilitude of Star Wars, is shattered by the additions.
Yeah.
Shattered. I can't stand Mos Eisley. I can't stand Jabba the Hutt. I can't stand that Boba Fett is working for Jabba the Hutt. Why does Boba Fett have to be working for Jabba the Hutt? Who made that stupid choice? I hate that. But anyway, yeah. If you're gonna talk about the 100 years and put Star Wars out there, give Fox some credit and give us the original versions of Star Wars. I mean, hey,
Exactly.
if they can go back and put the original versions of, I can't say that. Anyway, there's another movie that's getting fixed that you have. All I'll say is there's another movie that's out on physical media that one looks terrible on Blu-ray. It's a beloved movie, Academy Award winning movie, that only exists in a director's cut, and there are efforts being made to restore the original theatrical version. Well, that's all I'm going to say. But you figure it out, because I can't. I almost slipped. But anyway, there you go. So what's next,
Nice.
Dietz?
What's next? The other leftover, Rob, is, the letter from Thomas Logan. So we have the last part of his 8.
Well, wait. We can't. We have to first say that for a 100th episode, we are giving away the Sony Pictures Classics 30th anniversary 4K collection with things like Crouching Tiger and Run Little Run and Schenectady, New York, and SLC Punk and Voltaire. If you like Sony Pictures Classics, here's the big box set. This is a $300 box set. Hey, the Celluloid Closet documentary on gay representation in film and the history of Hollywood's in here too in 4K. So there's something for everyone in this box set. How do you win on our 100th show? Well, you win by writing us a letter about why you love physical media. And this letter is a multi-part letter we've been reading leading up to the awarding.
100 show.
So tell who this is from Thomas Logan.
From Thomas Logan, and this is the last part of his 8-page letter. If I remember correctly, last week we learned about his work at Blockbuster and recommending stuff to people that they didn't know or they couldn't stream. So here goes the last part of the letter. Going to the movies matters too. Even though I still give 4Ks and DVDs to people all the time, my main gift of cinema these days comes in the form of IMAX and regular film tickets, or Fandango, AMC, Regal, CMX gift cards, since the latest villain of cinema is the streaming world. Streamers like Netflix are desperately trying to persuade people to give up on the in-theater experience and refusing to produce physical media of their streaming content to add insult to injury. Netflix financed movies like Mank.
That's David Fincher's last movie.
Exactly. And Disney's IMAX enhanced, aka correct aspect ratio MCU releases only available on Disney Plus. I do my best to entice people to continue going to the movies, and for the most part it works. A 65-inch OLED 4K TV simply can't compare to a 5-story true IMAX venue. Same goes for watching something like The Whale in a packed 4K digital projection theater house where the cries and gasps are a collective experience. Final thoughts. Physical media is important, and sadly too many people fail to understand that. In a digital world, it's easy to get lost, but hard copy is dependable. It's what keeps human history in check since we left the jungle thousands of years ago. Civilization needs its records of greatness, of man's journeys through the ages. And those records need preservation. They need celebration. There is no greater collection of the past 100 years than cinema. Every 4K disc pressed, sold, and bought is one more valuable story successfully passed down through time. Love your show, Rob and Dina. you're doing God's work by championing physical media every Sunday. I make it a point every week to drop you two fine chants, some super chat love, and always look forward to watching you discuss cinema on 4K disc. Thomas Logan, restaurateur, wannabe screenwriter, amateur actor, and most importantly, decades-long lover and collector of physical media. P.S. Rob, my support for your free Enterprise Limited Collector's Edition 4K remaster is as strong as ever. I'm especially interested in the new 13-minute prologue starring Dieter Bastian and Patrick Van Horn, plus the 5 new audio commentary tracks. Track 1, Robert Meyer Burnett and Dave Parker. Track 2, Robert Meyer Burnett and Brian Fuller. Track 3, Robert Meyer Burnett and Brian Singer. Track 4, Brian Singer and Brian Fuller. Track 4, Dieter Bastian and George Feltenstein. Put me down for $500.
Really?
And
hey, whoa, dude, I'll do that.
Put me down for $500.
Here's you know what? So for those of you who don't know, yes, this in October it'll be the 25th anniversary of the film, the only film I've written and directed and edited, Free Enterprise, and hopefully we haven't been able to get access to the film. Our executive producer, he's had a rough couple of years, and hopefully we'll be able to pry it away from him. And you know, it costs less than it used to remaster films in 4K, but the deleted scenes, and I do a little bit of editorial work and clean it up and make the definitive version. It's been out of print. The last time it came out was on Anchor Bay on DVD. It's never been in HD. So, yeah, and what we would have to do is, even if we could acquire the film, it would be expensive to remaster it. You know, it's probably around, I don't know, $150,000 to do the whole thing. So if we pre-sold it, meaning, and we'd have to sell it the same way that Synapse pre-sold Dario Argento's Suspiria at a premium price, like say $40. If we could sell, 3,000 copies at $40 in advance. So what you're basically prepaying for the disc. And it would be available in multiple formats. And then what we'd like to do is part of that, and people that bought the disc, I'd love to get William Shatner to go around and do like a 5-night tour in different cities, and we show the movie, and I sit down with Bill and interview him. And all of that would be part of, if you supported the effort to remaster the film. So hopefully that'll happen this year. I mean, that's definitely one of my goals for the year, is to get it out, because Bill's 90. He's going to be 92 in March, and so
a little bit like a Kevin Smith tour.
Yeah, exactly. Because Free Enterprise is essentially a lost film, and I think it would have more of an audience now. Of course, I would also get canceled very quickly once people saw it, because there's a Woody Allen Mia Farrow joke in it that I stand by 100%. And I'm not going to cut it out of the movie, but people are going to be like, oh, because it was when we made the movie in 1998, I'm Team Woody. The evidence suggests, he was exonerated by 2 different states. So I'd love to put that movie out. So we shall see. And
with the letter, Thomas did send us 25 of his favorite movies, foreign language and English language. I will read it through it as quickly as possible, Thomas.
Yeah, do it. Let's hear it.
Fine with it.
This is going to be fascinating.
Top 25 favorite English language films of the past 50 years. Alphabetically listed. So it's not top to bottom. He says alphabetically. 1, Angel Heart. 2, Apocalypse Now. 3, Braveheart. 4, Chinatown. 5, The Dark Knight. 6, Die Hard. 7, District 9. 8, Drive. Not the Drive that I love, the Nicholas Winding Refn Drive. 9, The Exorcist. 10, The Fifth Element. 11, The Getaway by Sam Peckinpah. 12, Gladiator. 13, Heat. 14, Interstellar. 15, Leon the Professional. 16, The Master, Paul Thomas Anderson. 17, Rob, The Ninth Gate. 18, Pulp Fiction. 19, Requiem for a Dream. 20, RoboCop. 21, 7. 22, Sideways. 23, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. 24, There Will Be Blood. And 25, Rob, Videodrome by David Cronin.
Well, Thomas, we park our shuttlecrafts in the same shuttle bay. Wow.
This was his 25 of English language. And here comes his top 25 favorite foreign language film of the past 50 years. Luckily, he did put in the English title at some places. So where I don't find the English title, it could be a little bit rocky. So the first one, number 1, Abre los ojos, Open Your Eyes.
Abrio los ojos.
From Alejandro Amenabar.
Alejandro Amenabar. That was actually remade as Vanilla Sky by Cameron Crowe.
Oh, nice one. From 1997. Achami from 2009. Apocalypto from Mel Gibson. Best Vacant, a.k.a. Times and Winds. Cash, a.k.a. Hidden by Michael Haneke. Nice. Carne Tremula, a.k.a. Live Flash bei Pedro Almodovar. Chungking Express, Das Leben der Anderen, the Life of Others, German one. El Espinazo del Diablo, The Devil's Backbone. Fallen Angels, Fitzcarraldo. Habla con Ella, a.k.a. Talk to Her, once again from Pedro. Der Himmel über Berlin, from Wim Wenders. Incendies, a.k.a. Fires, from Denis Villeneuve. This is one of Denis Villeneuve's movies that I haven't seen yet.
It's his first feature. Actually, it's I think it's his first feature. He made a film before that, but it's great.
I haven't seen that. I don't think I have. Insomnia, but the original one,
the
not
Danish version.
Danish one, yeah. In weiter Ferne so nah, Wim Wenders again. El Labyrinto del Fauno, aka Pan's Labyrinth. Made in USA by Claudia Loza. Then The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the Swedish one. Nosferatu, Phantom der Nacht. Runskop, aka Bullhead. El Secreto de Chu Hoyos, aka The Secret in Their Eyes. La Teta Asustada, aka The Milk of Sorrow. Tropa de Elite, aka Elite Squad, The Enemy Within.
Ooh, I love those movies. I have both of those on Blu-ray, by the way.
Und Das Weiße Band, once again, Michael Haneke was 2 times in it as well. So some directors are multiple times here on his list. So
very, very respectable list. Not a lot of. Well, I mean, you got some Wong Kar-wai on there.
8-page.
No
8-page
Kurosawa.
letter from Thomas Logan.
I got to say, Thomas Logan's our front runner, buddy,
Yeah.
and he's bribing us, which I'll accept. $500 for the free Enterprise remaster. I mean, I'm already being paid shill for Terry Matalas in Star Trek Picard season 3 wearing his unlicensed merch.
So Rob, how was your red carpet event?
Bruh. So many people know that I did go to the red carpet. Actually, it's a blue carpet. World premiere of Star Trek Picard season 3. The entire cast was there, and many of the cast of other Star Trek shows were there. I have to say that Paramount CBS pulled out all the stops. They showed the first 2 episodes cut together as one episode, to the point where even the end credits reflected. For those of you who are sharp, eagle-eyed viewers, the end credits of Star Trek Picard season 3, someone said they're like Marvel credits, the detractors. It's all Easter eggs. It's all clues about what's going on. So pay close attention to what's going on. As a matter of fact, knowing what's coming, I almost would say that the end credits of Star Trek Picard have too many clues in them. But no,
it's not just names, Rob.
It's over images, and some people think those are just LCARS graphics. I'm like, look close, buddy. Look closer. But it was an amazing event. I took Zoe Bell, Elizabeth's 22-year-old daughter, who's essentially my stepdaughter. She'd never gone to the event, and we were styling. We went to the very posh after party at the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood, where they had costumes from the show, but they had a spread. And everybody, all the actors were there. Everybody was interacting with the fans and the people that were at the after party. The food was incredible. The open bar was top shelf. It was amazing. And they spent a lot of money on this event. which shows how much confidence they have in the season, and two, they had the entire Next Generation cast, and they really wanted to do something special. So
Nice.
Kudos to Paramount and CBS. It was a really great event, and I was mostly happy for showrunner Terry Matalas, who I've come to know and admire, and without his Herculean efforts against much opposition, creating a great. I have to tell you, seeing that in a theater was amazing because it's very cinematic, and the audience. I haven't heard. I mean, clearly it was a premiere. There was a lot of people who were involved in the show there. All the celebs were there. But the emotional response to the crowd was real. And there was a lot of people that were really surprised. Mike and Denise Akuta, who I adore. They're the sweetest people in the world. The prince and princess of geek culture. Mike came up to me afterwards and he goes, I've been listening to you talk about this. I've seen you talk about this on social media. And he goes, you were right. And they're very political and they are keepers of the flame. They do incredible work. Mike is a very talented guy. They've worked on For All Mankind. They worked on this. But, they don't know. And they'll never tell you that they don't like Star Trek, but they feel like I do about a lot of things. And Mike Akuta's like, man, you were right. And the thing about Star Trek Picard Season 3, it's the characters. It's you see these characters and they act, like I have said, people are complaining. They're like, it's all about nostalgia. Yeah, the beginning of Top Gun Maverick where Tom Cruise puts on his jacket and puts on his sunglasses and rides his motorcycle isn't. But the great thing about Star Trek Picard Season 3 is it takes these characters that we've known and loved and it actually shows where they are 30 years later. And everybody can relate to it. And as the Tom Clancy-esque plot unfolds, there's a lot there. It is not about some one villain wanting to wreak havoc and take vengeance the way it's been portrayed in the trailer. So the unfolding of the Byzantine, very large, sprawling plot is very much more like Hunt for Red October or Clear and Present Danger. It's very much like a Tom Clancy movie or Sum of All Fears. So it starts this Thursday, the 16th.
Nice.
Buckle up.
And it will be available here, not only on Amazon Prime, it will be available on Paramount Plus too. So there will be two platforms that it will be available here.
I would watch it on Amazon.
I still think that the deal with Amazon is still in place, considering Picard Season 3.
It's going to be interesting to see what
on
people
Paramount
think.
Plus 2. Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Nice. Rob, just quick. Box office, only one thing, Rob. Has Avatar already sailed past Titanic or not? That's a tough.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Avatar, I was ready for you, buddy. I was ready for you. Avatar 2 tops $2.21 billion global as Titanic resurfaces and retains the number 3 berth on the all-time worldwide chart. Nancy Tartaglione is here to give us the tea. The latest re-release of James Cameron's Titanic 3D has buoyed the big boat movie to $2.217 billion globally, meaning it still stands as the number 3 worldwide release of all time. James Cameron is competing with himself at the worldwide box office. Right in its wake, Cameron's Avatar: The Way of Water is now 2.213.5, which means basically $5 million stand between the two movies. $5 million. Last session, Way of Water had cruised past Titanic internationally for the number 3 spot. Internationally. All-time overseas, and holds on to the crown after this weekend. But either way, Cameron was indeed king of the box office world with this frame, with 22 million from the Titanic reissue. Paramount has domestic and Disney overseas, as well as 25.8 million for 20th Century Studios' The Way of Water. So James Cameron grossed almost $50 million at the box office this weekend. $50 million. One for a 25-year-old movie and one for Way of Water. At the international, I mean, it's something like 9 weeks. So there you go, buddy. How about Big Jimmy C? Rocking the free world.
Nice race.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I'll tell you what else we got. But yeah, that was, I knew that you would dig that. And it's
because it's totally curious, because if Titanic hadn't re-released, there would be probably had been a switch this weekend, but now it's still number 3.
Still number 3. So there you go, which is pretty exciting.
We'll keep our eyes open for next week. If,
we'll see next week. I mean, we had Magic Mike and Puss in Boots and all that, but all that,
but not really a big one. Not
no.
Really big one.
And they still haven't found Julian Sands, which my heart goes out to him and his family. But yeah, so there we go. Should we get? Okay. And now we return you to our program already in progress.
Yeah.
Let's get physical media.
Where do we go in here, Rob? More letters?
Yeah, we got some good letters this week.
Yeah. Because we have one, let me just find it, which is for the contest. Here I have it. I have one that is actually for the contest. And this comes from Louis Smith. And he writes, "Dear Rob and Dieter, first and foremost, thank you both for everything that you do. Your weekly installments of Let's Get Physical Media are absolutely fantastic, and the chemistry you two have make the episodes fly by. It's such an enjoyable listen. I only discovered the series about 3 months ago, but I've been following Rob for a long time over on the John Campea show. It's actually funny when I think about it. I used to always love the brief moments where Rob would bring up physical media. Be that something that he recently picked up, or something that was coming to 4K, and loving the passion and excitement that he would infuse for it. Before John would shut him down with some hilarious jokes and puns about how it's a thing of the past. I love John, but I have always sided with Rob on everything physical media and longed for a show where Rob fully indulged in his love for physical media. And all the while, I wanted that there already was one. And through that show, I discovered the wonderful and utterly hilarious Dieter Bastian, who has since become my absolute favorite German. Okay, another one, Rob.
There you go, buddy.
You ask, what does physical media mean to me? It's such a simple yet complex question, but I guess when it boils down to it, it's because of my dad and the memories I have as a child. Me and my dad often struggled to bond on many things in life. He was quite a cold and distant person, but he absolutely loved his movies, and so we had a common ground. We would often struggle for conversation. If it wasn't, we struggled. But as soon as I turned around 12, 13, and became obsessed with movies, we found that common ground, and it helped us bond terrifically. He had an enormous VHS and DVD collection in the garage, and around the time I became a teenager, he absolutely loved introducing me to films of the 70s, 80s, 90s that were a little more adult. The most notable ones including John Carpenter's Halloween, Scorsese's Taxi Driver, and Michael Mann's Heat. They were his favorite and are amongst mine too, and those times were amongst the happiest moments I have shared with him. His favorite director of all time, though, is without question Guillermo del Toro. He is a sucker for fantasy films, and Pan's Labyrinth is still to this day his all-time favorite film. I don't think there's a single film of his that he hasn't seen. He has seen them all, including a certain The Devil's Backbone, which features in this incredible Sony Classic dog set that you are giving away. I've never seen The Devil's Backbone myself. It's a film that's been on my radar for a long time. I myself have been collecting physical media for about 5 years now. But it's been a long time since I've sat down and watched the film with him. I'd quite love it if my first experience watching this film came from watching it in pristine 4K with my dad.
Oh, let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
Of course it is. We'll see what happens, won't we? Okay, go ahead.
I don't normally enter competitions or giveaways like this, but after realizing that The Devil's Backbone is in the set, The first thing it did was make me think of my dad and his love for Del Toro. Physical media itself brings so much joy in times when things in life are a little rough. I don't know what it is, but it's like being a kid on Christmas morning when the mailman arrives with your physical media. Exactly, Luis. Just recently, my 50th anniversary special edition of The Godfather arrived, and it was the most excited for something. I've been in a long time. The Sony Classics collection is stunning and probably never something that I'll otherwise own as disposable income for things like physical media is not what it was with the current cost of living crisis. But regardless of whether you choose me or not, thank you so much for being such a positive voice in the world of fandom, particularly in regards to physical media. I wish the both of you all the happiness and health in the world for 2023 and look forward to seeing where the world of physical media takes us this year. All the best, Luis. Well, Rob, this is pretty damn...
That's a pretty damn good letter. It's a pretty damn good letter.
Thomas, this will be a tough one.
Now, remember...
We have some similarities with the dad, you know. We have the similarity story with the dad.
I mean, everyone's field of dreaming us, man. We're being field of dreamed. Field of dreamed. That's what we're being. So here's the thing, though. Remember, you and I don't pick the final letters. We only pick the final three. You imagination connoisseurs, you members of the Post-Geek Singularity, it's up to you to decide which person gets the prize.
Exactly. So, but this was the only one that we got from for the contest. So, quick ones from our prolific letter writer Vincent from France. Spider-Man trilogy. Hi Rob, guten Tag Dieter. I recently rebought the original Sam Raimi Tobey Maguire trilogy on Blu-ray, not 4K, because I wanted to get the re-release that include an alternate cut of Spider-Man 3 called the Editor's Cut. I was amazed at the quantity of extras on the three films. I first watched them on the DVDs at the beginning of the 2000s. It brought back great souvenirs on the films. 21 years after the release of Spider-Man 1, it still holds up very well. The second movie has an awesome 2-hour Charles de Lauzarica making of. I wish there were more of these documentaries on recent films. There are a lot of images from the set, and you really get a sense of how the production worked. The Tom Holland trilogy is certainly far from these in terms of extras. Keep up the good work. Nice, Vincent. But the editor's cut is not on the 4K. Didn't know that.
Yeah, they probably couldn't put it on the 4K because it's not in 4K. Something like that.
Okay. The other one from Vincent from France is considering HMV Premium Collection.
Oh, this is a sad thing. I want to point out that Elliot Cohen. Elliot Cohen is another physical media YouTuber that I watch. He's very soft-spoken, but I really appreciate his taste. And he reported on this first. The first I ever heard about this was from Elliot Cohen this week. And look out. He's another, along with Jeff at Films at Home and Spare Change, although I know, and Vincent Teo. Elliot Cohen is somebody you should absolutely watch. And he has very good taste in films. And he also does great reviews of discs and things like that. But he reported on this, and it really bummed me out because the lovely Emma Bannon has purchased some of these HMV titles for me. So anyway, that as a preamble, please continue.
Yeah. Hi Rob, guten Tag Dieter. As you announced in episode 97, HMV Premium Collection seems to be closing down as the latest release was in April 2022. However, what is explained on Elliot Cohen's video is that the three studios behind the collection are actually releasing Blu-rays themselves instead, Universal and Paramount. Warner has recently announced an equivalent of the US Warner Archive collection in the UK, without the archive logo though. The first 5 movies, March 6, are Pump Up the Volume, Quick Change, Night Shift, The Naked Spur, and Ladies They Talk About. In the rest of Europe, including France and Germany, still no archive release, unfortunately. So this isn't the end of physical media. So there's just seems a little bit of a change of the distributor of.
Well, that's good. I didn't know that, so that's great. You know, George Feltenstein when I've talked to him, he sings the praises of the UK contingent of Warner Home Video. He says they're on it, and really, really is impressed with what they've done. So that's exciting to hear. It's interesting that they're not branding it Warner Archive, though, because Warner Archive is a great... I mean, I get it, but Warner Archive is such a great brand. And look, I still think HBO Max should have a... Warner Archive used to have its own streaming service, and I really do think that Warner Archive should have its own subsetting on HBO Max and all of their films, because their remasters are beautiful, and they should be given the credit for them. That's just me.
Yeah. The next one, of course, comes from Brian Knight. And he writes to Subspecies 5, Blood Rise coming out. Robert, Full Moon announced the release of the 5th movie in the Subspecies series. Subspecies 5, Blood and Rise. Anders Hove and the director Ted Nicolau are returning to this movie franchise. Why not call up Charles Band and talk to him about the movie and any upcoming projects? Because you worked a little bit for Charlie.
I could do that. I mean, and Dave Parker just made a Dr. Death. Is that the new Puppet Master movie Dave Parker directed? That just came out. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we could have Charlie Band and Dave Parker. There's going to be huge upcoming changes to this channel. I can announce, not us, we're still here, but the channel itself is going to grow and change dramatically in probably starting sooner than you might think. And I guess I'll talk about it later once we have all the details, but it's really exciting. We're going to make this channel a little bit more slicker, a little bit more professional. We're going to rebrand it. It won't be called the Burnettwork anymore, but it won't be called Post-Geek Singularity either. It will always be the home of the Post-Geek Singularity, but we really are becoming a network with different shows. If you don't watch Alex Montano's and Roberto Suarez's Que Pasa PGS, I understand, because it's 97% in Spanish, which is amazing. So there's a lot more shows coming, and the Post-Geek Singularity is going to be a very exciting place to be for the rest of the year. So very excited about that.
Nice.
Keep an eye out. But we're going to have a lot more interviews, we're going to bring a lot more professionals onto the channel, and really we're going to make what I want this channel to be is the hub for imagination connoisseurs to come to get entertainment content they can't get anywhere else. That's basically the and imagination connoisseurs is going to become the overriding idea behind the branding of this channel. So you'll see more and more of that. Great
to know, Rob. Let's look forward to what you have in store for us, for your members. The next letter was a little bit left over. It is one from Pedro Ferreira, and he wrote to us, Rob. Hi, Rob and Dieter. I just wanted to apologize, Rob, for unintentionally exposing you to my Twitter feed. It's really not that exciting, I promise. Only if you're obsessed with me or like manufactured drama, and if you want that you can interview me. I'm also incredibly excited that Season 3 of Picard is going to provide everything I've wanted in Star Trek since 2005, like proper lighting and color grading, as well as finding out that the entire Kurtzman era of Trek takes place in another universe. Why do I feel I'm setting myself up for the ultimate disappointment like The Force Awakens? Here's an interesting story. In my previous letter, I mentioned how I thought it was unfair certain titles weren't being released in the UK on home media when they had been in the US. A good example being The Last Starfighter. Arrow released the film in 2021 and was curious to know why they didn't get a UK release. So I contacted customer service last week and asked them. Their response was quite amazing in that they weren't aware they had released their title. They asked me for proof, and I had to provide an Amazon link to the US release. They still haven't got back to me. They released it 2 years ago, a fairly notable release, so not sure why the UK branch isn't aware of its existence. Kind regards, Pedro Ferreira. So I would just thing, Rob, that the Arrow branches UK, US work very separately.
Well, Arrow was acquired by Zavvi. Zavvi bought Arrow. So it's probably a good bet that the people in customer service, they didn't know. And what can you do?
Yeah.
So
You probably, like you said, didn't know. Okay. Rob, I will read these letters. We will not delve into them on that AI, but I will read the letters. From Brian Knight, the first one. Robert, why does ChatGPT answers to your question remind me of the computer from the Forbin project just before it asked to be linked to the Russian supercomputer?
Well, the Russian supercomputer was, of course, Guardian. For those of you who haven't watched the great 1970 film Colossus, the Forbin Project, starring Eric Braeden, I don't know why you haven't seen that. It's a classic science fiction film about AI taking over the world, and in it the computer is like it was built into the Grand Canyon, so it's pretty fun. If you haven't seen it, it's based on actually a trilogy of novels, Colossus novels. One of them is called Colossus and the Crab. The movie's only based on the first one, but I forget what the third book is called. But yeah, there's 3 Colossus books, and it's really good. If you haven't seen Colossus, the Forbin Project, it's really good. I would sort of equate it to, in a way, to Ex Machina. It's kind of a precursor to Ex Machina. I'm sure Alex Garland was sort of inspired by Colossus, the Forbin Project, and a lot of other things too. But if you haven't seen it, it's out. It's out on Blu-ray. So,
nice.
It makes Universal actually, and it's beautiful widescreen film. Universal actually released Colossus, the Forbin Project, and Silent Running as a double feature Laserdisc.
Ooh.
Which, it was pretty dope. Letterboxed and, Silent Running recently came out from Arrow in 4K. So, which is great. And Colossus, the Forbin Project. So if you've never seen Colossus, the Forbin Project.
Was there a reason to put those movies together?
I think that they were both Universal releases that they just, Silent Running was it 71? I think, and they were like within the same year, within a year of each other.
Okay.
But it was weird that they put them out as one Laserdisc, but it was awesome. I mean, big gatefold sleeve, really neat.
Awesome.
To be honest, I might still have that Laserdisc. I don't know.
That would be great, Rob.
I have to go look over there, and maybe I have it. I don't know.
Perhaps for next week, Rob. If you really
here it is.
That Laserdisc, that would be nice. And the last one, Robert. The next time you play with ChatGPT, ask him the same questions Captain Kirk used to disarm Voyager during the original Star Trek series.
That's full. He disarmed Voyager in the movie. It's probably Nomad you want me to ask, but that would be funny. I'd do that. I promise I will not get so enamored of Chat GPT in this episode. I apologize.
We'll get to some comments in the live chat later. Rob, I didn't know. Perhaps you know it already. I have good news. Megan will come out as an unrated version on Blu-ray.
Ooh.
It will get the unrated version, not on 4K, but it will be on Blu-ray, the unrated version with the theatrical version too. So you will get both versions on Blu-ray for Megan. And I was really thrilled, Rob, when I heard about Riddick will be getting a fourth.
Yeah, David Twohy, the creator of the Riddick franchise, and Vin Diesel are teaming up. It's called Riddick Furian. And because, Riddick is a Furian. We've never gone, I guess they're going back to Furia, the planet Furia, where Riddick is from. I'm looking forward. I am a huge David Twohy fan. To be honest, the David Twohy wrote, I was hired out of a class at USC by 2 producers, Mark Levinson and Scott Rosenfeld. They had produced Mystic Pizza. They went on to executive produce Home Alone, and they came and spoke at USC. And all I did when I had a thing called the Visiting Artists. Here's a lesson for you kids. So Max Lamb, a teacher at USC, this is back in 88, 89. Max Lamb had a class called the Visiting Artists Seminar. It was on Tuesday nights. And he would bring in industry professionals. He'd bring in people like Joel Schumacher. He brought in George Clayton Johnson, who co-wrote Logan's Run. He brought in Mark Levinson and Scott Rosenfeld. And I would go, back then there was no internet, so I would go to the Academy Library and I would research who was coming in and what they had done. So I would have a list of questions. I mean, Max Lamb brought in these great industry professionals. Well, no one else did that. And there was only like 20 people in this class. My friend Steve Melching was in it. And I would just ask questions. And Mark Levinson and Scott Rosenfeld came in, and Max Lamb tracked me down the next day. And Max Lamb told me, he said, they want to hire you. And I'm like, what? So my very first job in the entertainment industry was I interned on Sunset Boulevard at their offices. They also produced Teen Wolf, the Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf. I was in the Cinetel, it was Cinetel back then, and I read scripts. It was the first time I was able to read scripts for producers. And one of the first scripts that I liked, that I recommended, was David Twohy's script called The Grand Tour. And it was later made for cable. I think it was made for Showtime. And it was made as Grand Tour Disaster in Time. And I think David Twohy directed it because he had written things like Warlock, the Julian Sands movie.
Yeah.
He'd written that, and then he went on, he directed like The Arrival with Charlie Sheen. He made Below. He did the Riddick franchise, and I really liked him, and I actually interviewed him. This was terrible, because when I interviewed him at the Royal Theater in West LA for The Arrival, when The Arrival played, I said that he wrote great B movies, and oh man, that was the wrong thing to say. I mean, we know that that's awesome, but when I said that to him, I'm in the theater, packed house, and I'm interviewing him when The Arrival came out, like, this is 30 years ago, and he just did not like the fact that I said he made great B movies. I mean, what are I love Chronicles of Riddick. What is that if not a very expensive B movie? I mean, come on, the Necromongers, dude, please. But anyway, I love David Twohy. But yeah, so that was the very first script that I ever recommended to producers, was David Twohy's Grand Tour, Disaster in Time. And it got made. Nice. So I'm looking forward to this, man. I'm a big fan. I think David Twohy's I think in a way, David Twohy carried on the legacy of John Carpenter, in a way, in terms of the genre movies that he made. Because he's not making high art. The guy's not making The English Patient. You know, he's not. No. And he never will.
And he doesn't make movies for $100 million.
Yeah, no. Well, Chronicles of Riddick was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But
that's the only.
It didn't work out. So there's another Rob Burnett Hollywood story for you.
Yeah. Nice. Rob, should we show some physical media?
Yeah, I don't have much this week, but do you?
Okay. Who starts, Rob?
You go ahead.
Okay.
You're the man. People are tired of me anyway.
I don't think so, Rob. I don't think so. They're still here. We are still here. Two quick ones. Two animated movies, because I have the first one in the series too, but I bought this just on Blu-ray because I think they are on 4K in the States available. But for me, the Blu-ray is enough, and this was Schnäppchenpreis. The second one in the Mortal Kombat series, Legends. The Battle of the Realms, and it's always great if the movies are rated 18, for
Wait, it's an animated movie that's 18?
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the follow-up too, Rob, Snowblind, in the Mortal Kombat Legends series. And as far as I know, the story continues in those movies. Strong bloody violence and gore, Rob. What else can I ask for in animated Mortal Kombat?
Nothing.
Movies? These two came. The next one, I wasn't even aware that there is a 4K for the movie. I haven't seen the movie. I heard very good things about it. And it is a Universal title, and I thought it is distributed universally from Universal all over the place, and there's only a Blu-ray. But then I stumbled across the review on Blu-ray.com, and I read what are they talking about in the review with the 4K. And I found out in the UK there is a 4K, but not from Universal, actually from Dazzler for the movie The Outfit. And I totally loved the cover. And so I bought the 4K for The Outfit. And it's only available in the UK, to my knowledge.
You know, that movie's really good. It's
Yeah,
really
I haven't
good.
seen it, Rob. So I'm really looking forward. But I was surprised that in UK, it seems that it's not distributed by Universal themselves.
Yeah,
So there is a 4K out in the UK. The next one, Rob, from our Japanese directors that we love, a new version of Takeshi Miike's Audition, Rob.
Ooh.
It says it comes from a new 2K master. So, but I haven't watched it yet, Rob. It's a media book.
Is that German?
It's German, Rob.
Wow.
Exactly. It's German.
Okay.
Let me just see if it has. No, unfortunately, there are no English subtitles. No, unfortunately, not. But it says it comes from a new 2K master.
Sweetness.
So Audition from Takeshi Miike with a pretty thick booklet part in the middle. I think this is one of his earliest movies. Or am I wrong?
It came
Or at
earlier
least-
in his, yeah.
or at least one of the first one I saw from him. Audition. The next one from one of my favorite German companies, Rob, from Turbine, screams at the parking lot. I believe this title is a title that is out of print, but I could be wrong. It was one of the first titles I got back in the Blu-ray starting days. It was an optimum release, I believe, in the UK, but the title is probably out of print. But Turbine released it new, P2,
Oh,
with
yeah.
Rachel Nichols.
I like that movie.
Yeah, exactly. And it comes new, Rob, and it comes with Dolby Atmos. One
Ooh.
Blu-ray with Dolby Atmos, and the other one comes with Arrows, the DTS counterpart. With it, so it's got two Blu-rays on it and a little bit media book, but I haven't watched it yet. I don't know if this is a new transfer or something like that. I don't know about it. I only know that it comes with Dolby Atmos. Let me just see. And is there something else new? There are bonus features, but I believe they were on the UK release back in the day too. I could be wrong about it. But this is the like they said, world exclusive sound in Atmos and Arrow. Don't know if it does something for the movie, but I hope so. It did come with different cover variations. I did choose that one. P2.
I wonder why, Dieter. Why did you pick that cover, Dieter?
The other cover artwork, I remember having that on the UK.
Oh, that's right. You wanted the newer art. I see. Of course. Silly
Actually,
me.
Rob, I think it says this is the US key art for the movie.
Yeah, right.
You know. So this is my first little haul of physical media. I'm giving it over to you.
Well, you know, this channel is unofficially sponsored. Actually, it's officially sponsored, I guess, by Kino Lorber. Shout out to Matt at Kino Lorber. I got something that I was really very excited about. This is a new 4K master in Dolby Vision. Marathon Man.
Ooh, nice.
Is it secret? Is it safe? This is one of the great 70s paranoia thrillers.
Yeah.
And this is, of course, the man. Shout out to Kino Lorber. You know, you guys are crushing it as far as the Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. That disc is great. I mean, grungy New York of the 1970s. Bring it on in 4K. And I know people are going to look at it and go, Rob, what are you talking about? I mean, it's grungy 70s New York. I mean, the film stocks were different back then. Don't expect a Pixar movie. But really great transfer. Really enjoyed seeing it. Thank you, Kino Lorber. Thank you, Matt, for continuing to send me your 4K versions in advance. For those of you who don't know, that there's the old story that, you know, Dustin Hoffman like stayed up for 3 days and wanted to really live the part, and Laurence Olivier, kind of saunters in and is like, it's called acting, darling, whatever. While this method acting, Laurence Olivier was having none of it, but it was on the set of Marathon Man. Maybe that story's apocryphal, maybe it's not, but this
it sounds good. It sounds like
and
good story.
and what's interesting is there is special features on here, and I have to say, Kino Lorber, their 4K releases, there's been some controversy about a Death Wish, and for the most part, Kino Lorber is not necessarily in charge of doing their 4K transfers, but when they do, I think Usual Suspects, don't listen to anybody, the detractors. It's a great transfer. This looks great. I'm happy to have it. Thank you, Kino Lorber. For saying that to me.
Is it already out, Rob, or did you get it early?
No, it came early, so it's not already out. And I finally did get a box from Vinegar Syndrome.
Nice.
I got a box, and of course,
Peps. I got it too. I don't.
Well,
know.
hang on. You're gonna. We'll share. After watching the trailer for this particular movie, look, this is when they come for me, Dieter. When the screaming leftists come from my head. And I'm a leftist, but I'm a classical liberal, not these screaming, whining leftists. They're not going to like the fact that I have infernal rapist. Infernal rapist. I saw the trailer for Infernal Rapist, and I'm like, I have to have this. I have yet to watch it. Once again, I mean, the great slipcovers. This is apparently, satanic worshipping chicks come to a crime boss, and he becomes the infernal rapist. So do I apologize for owning this movie? No. I have yet to watch it, and I want to thank Vinegar Syndrome for putting out an infernal rapist. I mean, perhaps...
but as a Blu-ray, Rob, not a 4K?
Not a 4K. This is a Blu-ray. I don't know if Infernal Rapist will ever make it to 4K. Again, know nothing about this movie. I just watched... By the way, thank you, Vinegar Syndrome, for putting your trailers on YouTube. How can you watch the trailer for Infernal Rapist and not want to buy it? Don't know. The next, we covered this extensively a couple weeks ago. It finally came.
Okay.
The Beast in Space. For those of you...
Could be a nice double bill.
For those of you who haven't seen the original The Beast, I have a 3-disc special edition DVD of it. Oh, it's Beauty and the Beast taken to a new level. So yeah, we showed some of the trailer. But I'll tell you, Vinegar Syndrome, how can you not want to get movies like this? I mean, look at this artwork. This is what I'm talking about. This is exploitation cinema at its finest. This is 70s bush porn in a sci-fi context. I mean, what's not to love?
Even if I see the cover up and always think, what is Albert Einstein doing on the
that's
cover?
Exactly. And that's exactly what I think. And you know what? If Albert Einstein is ever on the cover of a movie, this is the cover he should be on. The Beast in Space. Now, I would assume that you and I, since this last one, I got the last one I got this week, but probably the best one of the week. Let's go back all the way to the late, great Stuart Gordon. I think you have this. I have a signed one sheet for this. It's in 4K. That's right. From Beyond. I mean,
it comes with the original.
Look at that. Oh yeah, you know what? I haven't even cracked mine open. I must do that because I like to have the original key art. This is, of course, Stuart Gordon's follow-up to Reanimator. It's another adaptation of an H.P. Lovecraft story. Ken Foray from Dawn of the Dead's in it. And I don't know how she did it or how she does it. I've interviewed her on this channel. Barbara Crampton, looking hot as fuck in this movie. Can I say that? By the way, I'm doing my reverse. And Charlie Band, back to Subspecies. Charlie Band produced this when he had his Empire Pictures. Yeah. And I saw this movie.
It is from MGM. Shouldn't it be on Amazon?
Yeah, who knows? No, because MGM at this point will license their movies out to anybody. But so I'm putting mine. I love the tagline, humans are such easy prey. Of course, the great Jeffrey Combs coming back. He doesn't play Herbert West. And you know what? I think whether they're 4Ks or not, every Vinegar Syndrome gets a protective sleeve to go into my collection.
Well deserved.
Yeah, well, I mean, normally I would say only my 4Ks, but now it's gotten to the point where Vinegar Syndrome, those covers.
It is a 4K, Rob.
I know, but
4K.
that's why. But all Vinegar Syndrome titles, because the Beast in Space, not 4K, but it does get a protective cover. Of course, I think I'm going to get around to getting all of my discs in sleeves. So that's all I got this week. I'm still waiting on my steelbook of Young Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Since we are on the subject of Vinegar Syndrome, Rob, I have two others to show. Let me do just
rock
that
them out,
quickly.
man. Let's see Vinegar Syndrome. We all love Vinegar Syndrome here.
The first one, or the second one after From Beyond, I don't know if I have seen this one with Kiefer Sutherland and Reese Witherspoon, Rob. I bought Freeway.
Really good movie. It's a really good movie.
And it comes, of course, with reversible cover artwork on the inside, and it is a 4K.
Oh, you know what? I need to get that. That movie's really good. I like that movie a lot.
Nice, Rob. I don't know if I have seen that movie, Rob. I stumbled across it. Can't remember it.
So it's cat in the bag for you.
Cat
in the bag.
Cat in the bag. Exactly. Freeway. The other one, on the one side, I was a little bit like, oh no, double dipping. Really, double dipping. Because I bought a nice media book, probably half a year ago, which came with a nice cover, and then Vinegar Syndrome put out the 4K, and I thought, and I got it, Rob.
Of course you did.
I got it, and considering the movie, it's insane what Vinegar Syndrome releases again. I bought Sidekicks.
What
in 4K? You know,
actually, that movie is charming. And look at the
exactly, Rob. It's charming. It's coffee and cake movie. You know, it doesn't hurt anyone. You know, it's harmless fun.
But look at the box again. The Vinegar Syndrome dope ass packaging. Look at that with the metal. Is that got the magnetic clasp? Yeah. Then go Vinegar Syndrome.
Look here. You put it out. It's the banderole, and then once again we have a different, and I watched it this afternoon, Rob. Really nice quality considering the 4K, nice crane structure. So, like watching it for the first time, Rob, unbelievable. Not something that you would show off your system, but really, really nice quality. And of course, Rob, it comes with a nice booklet.
Look at that.
About that, like you said, charming, harmless little movie. And just to show the insides completely, Rob, look how cool that looks.
Oh, Vinegar Syndrome coming through, man. You got to love Vinegar Syndrome. You got to buy that stuff just to support their efforts. Like Second Sight.
Especially for such perhaps a VHS title.
I love the fact on here's what I love about Vinegar Syndrome. So on one hand, they can put out Sidekicks, a charming harmless family film, and in the very
coffee and cake, Rob. Coffee
and cake, and in the same week, dude, keep that up. Yeah. You can get Infernal Rapist. So here's the dichotomy that Vinegar
later
Syndrome,
in the evening, Rob.
Later in the evening,
the Sunday afternoon program, you know. And this is later.
This is why Vinegar Syndrome. This is a lot of people might get they might want to ban these movies or get upset, but look, if you want to watch Sidekicks with the kids, and then you and the wife can watch Infernal Rapists and go to town on yourselves at night. That's what I say about, and that's why I love Vinegar Syndrome. God bless you guys. You are providing the entire rainbow of entertainment choices, and God bless you for it. I still love you for Liquid Sky and Body Melt. Your disc of Body Melt changed my life, so thank you for that. Just saying. God bless you, Vinegar Syndrome.
How they treat those kind of movies, Rob. That is, for me, the insane part of.
I don't know how they make any money, but God bless you. And by the way, Vinegar Syndrome has the best logo ever, with the bow chicka bow, the 70s, funk kind of wow, and it's so great. It's like I want to believe that they brought Quentin Tarantino in to design the Vinegar Syndrome label. Now, whoever actually did do it at Vinegar Syndrome is going, God damn it, I made that logo. But Vinegar Syndrome has a great logo, and of course, it harks back to what they're doing. Is a lot of these films, when they deteriorate and you have a print of them, they become vinegar. That's where the name comes from, and their logo is very clever. I love Vinegar Syndrome. I love you guys.
And just
of course, you never send us free shit. Just saying.
Mostly, this title is region free. Even the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I checked it this week. Not every title, but this is region free, considering the Blu-ray and of course the 4K. But the extras are just on the Blu-ray. But even the Blu-ray, I could play on my Region B player.
Yeah.
Without any problems. So I have still 2 more left, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
2 little titles. One you already showed last week, Rob. I have catching up to you with the 4K of Dawn of the Dead.
Have you watched it? It looks great.
No, unfortunately not, Rob. But I hope, Rob, this is the last time we buy this movie. Hopefully the last time. Because I think I bought the collector's edition from Shout, which came out 1 year ago.
Yeah, I bought it too.
Something around that.
Yeah, never again.
Around that. And the last one, because I love the Happy Death Day movies, I love from Christopher Landon this one too in 4K from Shout. I bought Freaky.
Nice.
Too. So this is the last one for this week, which comes with the Blu-ray, this Blu-ray 2, but there are, I believe, no new special feature. I think that the special features were on the Blu-ray back in the day when the normal Blu-ray came out. It doesn't say anything that would be new, and I'm still hoping keeping my fingers crossed for a Happy Death Day 3 to finish the trilogy. Freaky in 4K. The last title for this week on my end. Rob.
What do you want to do next? We got some super chats.
Yeah. Fire up the super chats.
People are firing them in. Sorry, I just put gum in my mouth. I don't know why I did that on a live show, but I did. Groovy Don't Play is a new member.
Ooh, nice.
Thanks, Groovy. Blunt Philly Reviews. Thanks for becoming a new member. Blunt Philly Reviews. Henry Back to Play became a member. Our friend Kevin Wellborn. Kevin, I owe you money. Kevin, I always say Kevin.
Wasn't there a bet with Kevin?
No, not it's Kelvin, not Kevin. You know why I can't say Kelvin? Because the J.J. Abrams movies are set in the Kelvin timeline.
Ooh. That triggers something, Rob. That triggers.
But our good friend, I always say Kevin Wellborn. I can't say Kelvin. Thanks to him.
He did send you the imprint stuff. Nice.
I watched Blue Steel. It looks great.
Nice.
It is awesome. So Kelvin, he's been a member for 10 months. I'm sorry I can never say your name right at first, but it's not my fault. Your name is Kelvin. I feel like I have post-traumatic stress whenever I say it. Our friend King Tannic, Israel himself, his show, The Otaku Experience. Nice. Check it out Thursday too. He says, Titanic agenda, let's go. Eat it, Avatar. By the way, King Tannic, Titanic is his favorite movie. He's 20. We'll give him a pass. But he got to see it for the very first time in a theater in 3D.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
So that's amazing.
And the 3D conversion is awesome.
Joe Hemphill, been a member for 11 months, says, hi, Robin Dietz. Thursday is the day. Quantum Mania and Picard Season 3, Episode 1. It's a great time to be alive. It is. You got to love that. Darth Plagueis says, I got this sticker for being a member, so I had to use it. Yes, if you remember, you get that. And once again, Groovy Don't Play has been a member for 9 months. I guess the algorithms want to remind me of that. By the way,
okay,
I did not get... Some people sent tips to Robservations yesterday that I didn't get. They didn't show up.
through
And they came-
Streamlabs, Rob. The Streamlabs.
Yeah. The stream
Okay.
elements. And then they did show up. So I'll do observations and get to those tips. Our friend 200 Watt Studio says, Rob, it just occurred to me that two of my favorite films may be connected. Demon Seed and Colossus, the Forbin Project. They're both about supercomputers, acres big, that achieve sentience. Demon Seed could be considered an unofficial sequel or prequel to the Forbin Project. The evolution of AI. I'm not going to read the end of that. 2 of 2. That's a spoiler alert, bro. If you haven't seen Demon Seed, Dean Koontz either wrote the novelization of it or wrote the original book it's based on. Demon Seed stars Julie Christie and Robert Vaughn does the voice of Proteus. It's great. If you haven't seen Demon Seed, it's about a computer that traps a woman. Basically, it's about an AI that becomes, well, an infernal rapist. It desires to procreate with Julie Christie, and who wouldn't? So if you haven't seen Demon Seed, mid-70s, I'm right there with you, 200 Watt Studio. Yeah, I think Colossus, the Forbin Project, I would say Demon Seed would come after because they figured out how to shrink down Colossus, but at the end of Colossus, you don't know what the state of the world is. But either way, what a fun double bill. I'm right there with you. Darth Plagueis and Dietz say, that's a nice bike. I know what that's from, and I can't place it right now. Is that Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
No, it's I believe from wasn't it from T2? That's a nice bike.
Yes, I think it is. By the way, are we ever going to get a good version? Why is it that James Cameron might be the most underserved man on the planet when it comes to 4K?
Yeah.
There's no 4K of The Abyss. There's no real 4K of True Lies. There's no good 4K of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. There's no 4K of Titanic. Well, yeah, it'll be great. There's no 4K of Avatar. And there's no 4K of Avatar 2 The Way of Water. Come on, Disney.
Not yet, Rob. Not yet.
200 Watt Studios says,
Yeah.
Oh, I already did that. Jeff Dyer says, hey guys,
Jeff.
what are your thoughts on the upcoming Superman 4K release box set of 1 through 4? And do you think we will ever get a proper restoration of Superman 4? Jeff, I don't think the elements to Superman 4 exist. I've talked with some people, and there's like video VHS elements, but the negative elements, I don't think they exist, and which is unfortunate. So, and I hope, look, I can't wait to get new 4K transfers of the Superman movies. I hope they're great.
When will it come out, Rob? In April, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
I think so. So yeah. 200 Watt Studio says, it finally came. Laugh out loud. Nice one, Rob. What can I say? It did finally come.
Is that a reference to Live and Die in LA?
No, but it should be. No. Speaking of which, I know that 200 Watt Studio, William Friedkin is actually directing a movie right now.
Okay.
About the Kane Mutiny. And, Mutiny on the Bounty or whatever. The Kane Mutiny is a different thing, but the Kane Mutiny is not Mutiny on the Bounty. I don't even know why I said that. But, so yeah, he's doing that, and which is pretty cool. So someday we're going to get it, and I know that 200 Watt Studio is going to be first in line to buy To Live and Die in LA.
Yeah, of course.
James Wheeler says, hello, Robin Dieter. I just bought the Criterion Blu-rays of Come and See and War and Peace. Have either of you seen these? Oh, I've seen them both, and I own both of them. Come and See is one of the most uplifting and life-affirming films you'll ever see. Not. Come and See is incredible, but man, does it pack a wallop. And go out and take a walk after you've watched it. Breathe in some fresh air.
That the Russian war movie?
Mm-hmm.
You told me about. Yeah, I'm still behind that. Still behind that.
Well, Russian,
which you said is really uplifting.
War and Peace is the real Russian war movie, and it's great. I mean, it's Russian War. The thing about War and Peace, obviously, an adaptation of a great novel. It is huge in scope. It is. I think it's the biggest movie ever made in Russia. It's monstrously huge, and it's an incredible spectacle. And the disc is gorgeous, and it's so great to have it. So, it's great. I'm glad you got it. Those are both good to have. Our friend Thomas Logan sends in a $20 super chat and says, R&B, the lists are past 50 years only. Thus, no Kurosawa. R&D, meaning us, want to hear you guys discuss Tar. What are your thoughts on this brilliant film? I've seen it 3 times now in 4K. Todd Field is a master in the bedroom and little children, 10 out of 10. Of course, Todd Field was Nick Nightingale in Kubrick's movie Eyes Wide Shut. And he made In the Bedroom that there's a great story how Harvey Weinstein wanted to change In the Bedroom, and Todd Field talked to Tom Cruise about what to do. And Tom Cruise gave him great advice. I'll let you guys discover that on your own. And I love Little Children. I love Tar. I think it's my favorite movie I've said it before, that's my favorite movie of 2022.
Yeah, I think it was your number one, Rob.
Yeah,
your best,
I love the
best
film, and Todd Field is a master. I mean, there's a reason why I hadn't made a movie since 2006. I think Tar is a knockout. I think, again, it's not for everybody. Like, if you're a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan, but for me, it really spoke to me. There's something about Todd Field's choice of subject matter, the way he delves into the human condition. I'm a huge fan, and it's brilliantly made. And Kate, you cannot take your eyes off Cate Blanchett. You just can't do it.
And for me, it was of course great. There were some German saying in it, some sentences played in Germany, and what I totally loved, Rob, was actually the end point, which was perhaps a little bit. I did consider video game music, but it was great that even video music can be presented that way now. I totally dug the ending because it came out of nowhere. Okay, she got a new job, but I didn't know for what it was, Video game music can be great too,
Well, and it is.
Hasn't a longevity like Mahler or something, or Beethoven, but there are great music compositions for video games too.
Hey, Lydia Tar's got to get paid, G. She's got to get paid.
But I was totally taken aback when I saw the whole cosplayers for Monster Hunter in the end. Sorry for spoiler alert.
Darth Plagueis asks, have you seen the pictures of Joaquin Phoenix as Napoleon Bonaparte in Ridley Scott's 2023 movie? That movie was going to be called Kit Bag, which I was always like, I don't know why. Kubrick, I have the big Taschen book or collection of books. Kubrick was going to make a Napoleon Bonaparte movie, and he never did. But I haven't seen, if there's new pictures that are released, I have not seen them. I can't wait to see it. I'm very, very, very excited to see it.
Yeah. And like Blue Sunrise said, it says it too in the live chat, some game original soundtracks are really good. Exactly. Blue Sunrise.
Yeah, so Tar, must see. Must see. Aaron Johnson in the live chat asks about what I think of the Before trilogy. I love it. I was just watching, it's on HBO Max. I watched the second one. I watched about 20 minutes of that movie. I love that movie so much. I love when he first sees her. Oh, so good. Tom Jr. Jackson sends in a super sticker and says, fist bump. Thank you for that, Tom. And there you go. So we're caught up. We are caught up.
We're caught up. Okay. We have still the live chat and what I have seen this week, Rob. What do you wanna do?
Do the live chat and what you have seen. Give me a minute. I will be right back.
Okay, nice. And I will say previously on Let's Get Physical Media. Gordon Waddell asks me, Dieter, I want a German media book of the car, but sure Amazon Germany will not ship it to me in the US because it's a third-party seller. Third party won't ship it to me either. Any idea? Well, Gordon, if you are on Instagram, hook me, get in contact with me, and probably we can make something happen, considering you want this movie on the media book. I looked for it, and like you said, it's from a third party. It wasn't actually an Amazon sell. But try to reach out to me, perhaps in the comments, and we will see if we can make something happen. Paul Nolan. Dieter, have you seen Decision to Leave? Of course, Paul, I have. 1 or 2 weeks ago, we talked about it. Showed it. Decision to Leave from Park Chan-wook. Great movie, which was in Rob's top 10 list of best movies of the year. Decision to Leave. And it will get 4K release here in Germany under the name The Woman in the Fog, Die Frau im Nebel. So it will get, as usual, another German title, Decision to Leave. Who knows what that means, Even it was totally fitting for that movie. Peter Cunnington, don't waste your time with Knock at the Cabin. Boring. Okay. Haven't seen it, Peter. Speaking, Rob did show last week for the movie Pathan, the actor Shah Rukh Khan. And this one made me laugh from my friend Tim Hens. He said, never heard of him, Shah Rukh Khan. But I do know Shaka Khan, Shere Khan, and Khan Noonien Singh. Okay. He knows those guys. Okay. Irene Jobson. My daughters watched Megan 3 times this week, and I saw, I think, on Jimmy Kimmel, they had Wednesday Addams versus Megan Dance-Off, which was super cute. Unfortunately, I missed it. I have to look it up on YouTube. Sounds like a fun idea. Altmetall. I finally finished watching Alienoid, and it's not as good as I hoped for. Come on, Altmetall. It was nice. I'm really looking forward to, hopefully, a sequel to the movie. The Alex Sorber. America is the last country that matters to me when it comes to the last few years of film. Okay, it's a hard one. Some Bones Film Emporium to the Burnettwork. Do you know when Superman 1-4 and Star Trek TNG films will get a 4K release? As I know, this year.
The TNG films are coming out. They've been announced. I think April.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Superman stuff. I think around that time too. And Rob, last week you put up the box office, and there was the 3 Fragezeichen, the 3 investigators, and one in the comment finally did an explanation what it actually is. And Channel Surf says, I love the books of the 3 investigators are the original work. Would love to see a movie series. That was the original title in the UK, and they made it the 3 question marks here in Germany, and it was it came out under an Alfred Hitchcock banner. Since we talked about Zack Snyder, Polar Bear, I walked out of Sucker Punch, and the Alex Sorber, Sucker Punch is shite. So
how dare you?
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. Speaking of Rob destroying his Cloverfield Steelbook, Danzig 1997 said, so you could say Rob did a heel turn. Actually, Danzig, he never did. On the Schmodown, he was always a heel. He didn't get to making the heel turn to a babyface. He was on the cusp of it, but didn't make it. He was always a heel, Danzig. He was always a heel on the Schmodown. True. Tim Hens, I think Rob and Terry Matalis are now best friends. Rob, are you best friends with Terry?
Am I best friends with Terry Matalis? You know what? I would say this. I mean, I wouldn't call us best friends. I would not presume to speak for him that way. But I would say this. He's become a very good friend. I really respect his work. He has a beautiful family, a beautiful life, and he made me believe in Star Trek again. And look, I'll tell you something. The thing I most admire about Terry Matalis is that he was all in, man. I mean, he fought for what he wanted. He fought for what he believed in. And to me, he's an example of the very best of people in the entertainment business when they're trying to create the best entertainment product they can in the face of adversity and in the face of budgets and in the face of maybe uncooperative actors, or not to insinuate any of his actors were uncooperative, but he had to convince people that what he wanted to do was the correct course of action. And I respect that. He has the courage of his convictions, and he is a very nice guy. And I will say this, he's been very nice to many people over the course of getting this series of Star Trek episodes out. He's, I'll tell you, I mean, maybe I shouldn't speak out of school because he made sure that Nerdrotic, Gary Beekler, got the episodes, and Gary wrote to me, and he wrote to me last night.
Now we get into the gist of it, Rob.
Gary wrote to me last night and said, you know what? This doesn't suck. and I told...
That's a good thing.
I told Terry that, and he's like, well, he's not saying it's good either. I'm like, hey, man, you got to take praise where you can get it. Gary doesn't lie. A lot of people, you might not like Gary Beekler's approach. You might not like Nerdrotic's approach, but he doesn't lie, and he doesn't make up stuff, and he shoots from the hip. But even because I'm a firm believer that the work wills out. There's a lot of people that have their own personal agendas, and they're never going to admit anything. But and I've talked to some people that aren't 100% on, and people have valid criticisms of things, but they might bump on things. Well, they haven't changed this or they haven't changed that. Sure, because it's still part of a. But you have to, if you want to have change either happens in fits and starts or it's gradual. And in the case of Star Trek, for me, I've had 14 years of what I consider to be shite. So to have Star Trek Picard Season 3 to be as good as it is, and what's so great about it is the character interplay. The reviews that I've read of it, it's like, did you pay attention to the character interaction and the stories and what's going on? But, it's very, to me, it's a litmus test. I think older fans the people that already hate modern Star Trek that are younger are probably going to continue on. But if you're an older fan, you're a little bit more discerning. I think you can see what's going on with the show, and it's really well done. And that's why I admire Terry, is because he's a great creator. He goes all in, and that the kind of people that I admire, even if they do something that I might not like, I still recognize the courage of their convictions. Like I am not a fan of I'm the New Zealand director who made Jane Campion. I don't love Jane Campion. I don't love her movies, but her movies are all beautifully made. I just don't dig her subject matter. I've watched a lot of Jane Campion movies, and she just doesn't. I don't connect with her stories or what she's trying to do. But they're still beautifully made movies. Now I can say that her movies are not for me, but I would never say that Jane Campion sucks, because the quality of her work is self-evident. And I think that if you're an elevated individual, you can look at things and realize that. And there's going to be people that might not like Star Trek Picard Season 3, and I respect that. But what I respect mostly is, give me a good reason why you didn't. And if I know for a fact that there's elements that are in Star Trek Picard Season 3, and you can see them, if you're not mentioning those elements, I'm like, all right, I dismiss I reserve the right to say whether or not I think your criticism is valid or not. And that's what life's all about. So,
but if Gary says it doesn't suck, Rob, that for me is a praise.
It is. So
okay. Back to the live chat. Joe Hemphill said, my wife and I enjoyed playing Miss Gerard Butler. It was entertaining. Nice to know.
Mm-hmm.
The Alex Sorba, considering James Gunn and his new DC plans, Gunn slate may inspire my retirement from superhero movies once and for all. Okay. Victor Fontaine. Yeah, I put the Snyder Dawn of the Dead in the same category as the RoboCop remake. It wasn't horrible. It was okay to meh, not near as good as the original.
No.
If you can even get Rob to like in the remake. Come on, Victor.
I mean, look, I was so primed to hate that movie, and I enjoyed it. Yeah. I mean, it's certainly not the original, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Bill Barkley. By the way, did Dieter shut down that Chinese balloon? I can neither deny or confirm such allegations, Bill. Okay. The Alex Sorber. Dieter cannot be replaced. Impossible. No?
I wasn't planning on replacing him.
Yeah. There was some confusion, Rob, because you mentioned the Shah Rukh Khan movie Ahsoka the Great from 2001, and some were confused in the chat because they thought someone has already seen the Ahsoka show, and they said Ahsoka's not out yet. And Bill Barclay, how did that person see Ahsoka? But Rob did meant an older movie from Shah Rukh Khan. PM Ferreira, Stone Cold, is that a wrestling movie? Come on, PM Ferreira. Come on, PM. No, it's not. It's not. Irene Jobson, I do like serial killers. She's not mentioning any movie, Rob.
Maybe she's one of those women that writes to men in prison, falls in love with them.
I do like serial killers.
John Wayne Gacy, I love you.
Yeah. Michael Preston wants to know if the Secret Exchange Part 3 is ever going to happen. Unfortunately, Michael Preston, probably not. But if you want Michael Preston, reach out to me. I can at least send you the script to it so that you would at least know what would had happened there.
That's really sad. Tell Patrick I'm never commenting on his YouTube page again.
Exactly, Rob. I tell him that. Tim Hens asks, was there ever that 80s show? Not that I can remember, because I talked a little bit about the remake or reboot of that 90s show. I don't remember that there was an 80s show. And Polar Bear asked what about the Night Court reboot? I've never seen. I know the series, but I never seen it. But that was a sitcom that was rebooted, as far as I know, too. Considering the show got a little bit out of hand with our ChatGPT, here comes the live chat mechanics to that. Terry said, welcome to the new show. Let's get metaphysical with ChatGPT. Haunted Autumn, come out of the rabbit hole, Rob. We beg you.
I couldn't help it. I got so enamored of it all. What can I say?
Eucalyptus. Deeds should go back in time and stop this madness. The sound of one man laughing. Maybe in addition to a ChatGPT show, we could have a show about physical media. Kiki asks, did any one of you buy The Planet of the Vampires 4K? Fantastic release by PlayOn, which is the company that was formerly known as Koch Media, of a great Mario Bava movie.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. There's a 4K disc of Planet of the Vampires?
Yeah. From Koch Media, which is now PlayOn.
Bro, is it still available?
I think so, Rob. What? Let me just check, Rob. Let me just make a quick check.
How did I not know this?
Here.
Why didn't you tell me these things?
Wait, let me.
How can you do this to me?
That's why there's the live chat, Rob. I didn't know that either. Let me just see if I can find it.
Bro. A 4K of Planet of the Vampires? It subtitled in English? Or you at least get the English dub?
There it is, Rob. There it is. Planet of the Vampires, Mario Bava collection. 4K and 2 Blu-rays. So 3 disc set, Rob. I will send you the link. Let me just see. It has, Rob, languages German, English, and Italy is on the disc.
Dude, I have, oh my God. A 4K of Planet of the Vampires. I have to have it.
Yeah.
Give it to me now. Give it to me now.
I will get that, Rob, because if it's the same situation with Rollerball, I don't think PlayOn doesn't send internationally. Let me just see. Because this is an exclusive in the shop, so you won't get that one on Amazon.
Dude, you got to get it for me.
Okay.
I have to have Planet of the Vampires.
Okay.
Come on.
So, and Altmetall says, answered Kiki, I have it, I love it. So it seems to be great. Hey, Mans, this show is gradually becoming the ChatGPT show. Joseph, yup, they barely discuss physical media anymore. Altmetall, wave the flag, dealer. Wave the flag. Stop it, Rob. Poor deeds.
Okay, I'm sorry. I went a little too far. Come out to the coast. We'll have a few laughs. Come on.
200 watt studio. Rob, don't forget you're supposed to be doing a show. Tim Hans, Deeds is starting to look annoyed. Wait, where does it go?
By the way, Fibe says it's Region B locked, even though it's a 4K. Region locking.
Who cares?
I scoff at that. No, it's funny. There are more and more. I have a dedicated region-free player that I use, and I had bought the Studio Canal 4K version of The Doors that is still not out here, and I think that disc is region locked.
Wait, the Doors not out in
not in
US from
4K. I don't think so, or maybe it did come out in 4K. I'm not sure.
I think it is, Rob.
Did it come out in 4K? Once I get a disc, I don't pay much attention if it comes out in domestically. Maybe it did though, but it's region locked, and I was surprised. Yeah, I was surprised by that.
Okay. That's strange, Rob. That's strange. Eucalyptus, Deeds, you should walk away. Joseph, will this ever end? Okay.
Oh yeah, it is out here. You can get it here. Okay.
Okay. Thomas Logan, you must stop this madness, but he wrote it in German. And Punking said, this is like being in the final season of a show when you remember what it was originally about in the early years.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, Rob, what can I say? Back to positive topics. Joseph, did Dragon Slayer get a 4K release? It's coming.
It's coming in a beautiful collection.
Next month. And it's always nice that my neighbor from the Black Forest, Altmetall, has my back, because Rob was really beside himself when I said I didn't care for the second side release of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And Altmetall says, I have already a wonderful Texas Chainsaw Massacre box from Turbine. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Germans
Exactly.
stick together.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fine. Okay.
And
just taking
we were
orders.
we were really surprised, Rob, when you showed the charts, the buying charts, that the dentist collection made it in the top 5. And Syneste said the dentist collection was only $12, Rob. So that would
there you go.
A Schnäppchen, Rob, for three movies. I think it was 3 movies, So really a Schnäppchen that put it in that list. A Kickoff once said, a seemingly naive and devout young woman finds her way in the underground world of truck stop sex workers, aka lot lizards. What is he talking about, Rob?
Wait, well, I wouldn't know.
Once again, a seemingly naive and devout young woman finds her way in the underground world of truck stop sex workers, aka lot lizards. He is, of course, Rob, talking about Candyland.
Yes. That's your favorite movie, right?
Not my favorite movie, Rob, but I told you I bought this movie digitally because it's not out on Blu-ray, Rob, but I want to get it.
If you combined truck stop lot lizards with OnlyFans, you could really have something. Just saying. There's my new movie.
Kevin Unity, because not we ourselves, Rob, ChatGPT actually gave him some recommendations considering 4K players. Cool, thank you so much. I'm going to look into those. And sorry, I meant to put 4K 2 in because he's asking
wait a
about
minute.
Blu-ray players.
Hang on a second. I got to stop. The Dave Cullen show. Dave Collins in the chat. Dave, you and I need to do a show together about Picard season 3. And I love Dave Cullen's videos, and I've been watching him for years. Both of his multiple channels. Dave, we got to talk about this. You're the person I want to talk to the most. So, yes.
Dave, I don't know if it's just the right person, but I did send
here's my email.
Message
and
on
watch.
Instagram.
If the world hears it, I don't care. RM Burnett. So it's RMBURNETT 1701 @gmail.com. That's my main email that I leave open for everybody. So RM Burnett.
As easy as it is.
1701 @gmail.com. And look, if you want to suddenly use that, send me good stuff. Send me, stupid memes, send me porn, send me links to 4K Blu-rays like Planet of the Vampires that I didn't know existed. But make it good. Make it good. If you're gonna use my emails, send me something. Although, don't do what happened in Manhunter when was it Francis Dollarhide? It was either Francis Dollarhide who said, "Send me something wet." Don't do that. Don't do that. So, and don't send me your scripts, Charlie the Unicorn. Do not.
The script stuff again.
And by the way, first of all, Red Letter Media, I am dying to hear what Mike at Red Letter Media thinks about Picard Season 3. Because I discovered Red Letter Media when the Generations review that they did. That's when I first heard of Plinkett, Mr. Plinkett. I watched that Generations review early on, like, what is that, 10 years old now? I thought those guys were geniuses then. I think they're geniuses now. I love them. But I would very much like to see what they think too. I mean, I was very curious. I didn't know what Dave Cullen would think. And see, the thing is, Dave Cullen understands, he's able to put his preconceived notions or whatever and allow the story to work. And the thing is, Star Trek Picard Season 3 is not perfect because it still has to build on what came before. But as if you want to do, and I've equated it to Top Gun Maverick. 30 years have passed by. I mean, I think one of the audacious things, and it's not a spoiler, is that at the beginning of Picard Season 3, Jean-Luc Picard hasn't talked to Beverly Crusher in over 20 years. That in itself was a choice that I thought was bold. And that's, in the first 10 minutes, you find that out. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So Dave, reach out to him. You know his email now. But Kevin, like I said, thanks us for the recommendation.
By the way, when I come to Germany,
yeah.
and I want to drag you to England, and I think Dave Cullen, the Critical Drinker, Mahler, we should all go to a pub and do a live stream. And as heel versus babyface, get the whole gang together. We should rent out a pub and invite people and do like a meet and greet and do a total live stream. And anybody in Europe will invite anybody to come, and we'll live stream it from all of our channels simultaneously.
Nice.
And we'll talk, and you'll be there. and you have to bring us a physical media offering to get in the door.
Totally.
And the thing is, we will judge you. It doesn't matter if you have it or not. You have to bring, and like, oh, you want to get into this party? Which physical media disc will you bring to get in? And if we deem you worthy, then you get to come into the party, and then we give away the discs to all the other people in the party. So you'll get a disc back, but you don't know what it is. That'd be kind of dope. I'm just making up my own shit as we talk on the show.
You will get immediately VIP access if you bring in free Enterprise in 4K somehow.
Yeah, they can't. Oh, yeah. Better not.
So Kevin thanked us for the recommendations, which actually came from ChatGPT.
You know what, Dave?
I'm
going to try and get, Dave Cullen and I should do a show with Terry.
Let's, he just says it, Rob, Dave says it. Let's do it.
I'll ask Terry.
Nice. Lototh, our moderator in the chat. Shang-Chi, worst MCU movie. Actually, Lototh, I have seen the worst one this week, and it was called Wakanda Forever for me, Rob. Is now my least favorite movie. I couldn't believe it myself. I have seen it this week, but for me, it was a movie that, through the sadly passing of Chadwick, probably did get a pass from a lot of movies, but the movie in between, sorry, no. And considering the picture quality, Rob, I remember back in the day when it was in theaters, you were, they dimmed the bulbs again. No, Rob, the picture quality is not good from that movie.
Wow.
It's not. So I did actually cancel my pre-order for Wakanda Forever. So Lotos, for me, it's not Shang-Chi. It's actually Wakanda.
The thing is, you know what?
Forever.
I like Shang-Chi a lot because it's a wuxia movie. You know, Warner Brothers, Marvel leans into different. Do I think it's perfect? I don't. Is it like the Shang-Chi I grew up reading? You know, that Doug Mensch wrote, that Michael Golden he drew some of it. The Kung Fu meets James Bond. It's not like that, and I understand that. That's what I wanted to see. They were never going to do that, but I still enjoyed that film. I thought it had that Chinese mystical feel to it. Like, I love how it opens, and it's got Tony Leung in it. So,
saving grace, Rob. Saving grace. Wait, I'm trying to mix the context here. Okay. Walter Whitewalker. Jägerschnitzel is the best. Okay, nice if you like it. Considering, Rob, that you think that I have some sort of star status that people would recognize me, and I say, no, not here, Rob. The man said, nobody has stopped deeds in public, not even the Stasi, for black market physical media.
Yeah, I mean, even the customs guys, they're not going to stop you because you're Germans, man. Germans don't stop people in the street and go, oh my God, you're Dieter Bastian from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. Nobody's going to do that to you. Why would they do that to you? No.
But luckily, Rob, I have my people here in the live chat. Eucalyptus, we're here for your deeds, and Bill Buckley, poor idiots, let's get him recognized, Altmetall, I will come to Saarbrücken and recognize you. Since you're not that far away, Altmetall, we could do something like that. Eucalyptus, we should all go to Saarbrücken. And Tim Hens even said,
Uh-oh.
Of the live chat.
By the way, I can go to guess what I got in the mail yesterday. My brand new spiffy electronic stamped
For your
folded.
Andromeda model.
I got my new passport.
Nice.
So now I can travel around. I'm once again European bound. I'm going to go see Dave Cullen and all you guys in Europe. I'm going to see you in Saarbrücken.
The other stuff that I have seen.
You just went out of sync. You went out of sync, dude. Here, let me go back to me. Something happened. It was a glitch in the Matrix.
Considering the movies that I have seen this week, Rob, I'm still working my way through God of War Ragnarok, so I don't find the time to watch as much as I would love to. I watched Viking Wolf on Netflix, the Norwegian movie. Really nice one, if you love werewolf movies. Not at the top of the genre, not at the bottom, but in the, would say, upper tier. So I was really surprised to see the Rotten Tomato score was not very high. It's probably a 5.2 on IMDb, but for me it was definitely better than the ratings make it out to be.
I love I'm watching a film that's
HBO.
You're out of sync, so we're watching a film that's hang on. I don't know why that happens. Hold on, let me try and Dieter's out of sync. This is a test of the American broadcast system. Let me see now. Say something.
Test 1 2.
No, you're still out of sync. It might have tripped up on our incoming message board. Can I drop you out and have you come right back in? Okay, I'm gonna drop Dietz out and bring him back in. Okay, Dietz. Let's do a little disconnect. I'm disconnecting you. Okay. And now I want to not disconnect. Hopefully you can come back. And Dieter will be back. I hope he comes back. And if not, what can I do? I'll have to finish this show by myself. Let's see. I'm going to reconnect to the previous session. So we're reconnected. Hopefully Dietz can come back. He's not coming back. Well, I can just talk myself and opine on what's going on. Since Dieter's not back, let me just look at Super Chats and see what you guys are saying, which I can do because I have that power. So there are people that are still flying in with Super Chats, and I will get back to that. So let's see. There was an entire glitch in this Matrix. That is what happened. Anyway, so let's see. Ernest Rister says Empire of the Sun is now out of print on Blu-ray, but it's going to be on that goofy upcoming Warner Brothers box set. Is that true? I hope so, because I love Empire of the Sun. Dietz is back. I will put him back. Dietz. I don't know. Let's see. Say something.
1 2 1 2.
Yep,
Hey,
you're back. You're back. Here, I was just doing some super chats, but since you hadn't
Nice.
finished, Ernest Rister
go
said
for the
that
super
Empire of the
chats,
Sun is going to be out on Blu-ray, but there's things the Warner. Well, that's in the news, which we haven't got to yet. We haven't got to the news yet, and we'll talk about this in a minute. But I didn't realize that Empire of the Sun is going to be on that upcoming goofy Warner Brothers box set. I would love Empire of the Sun in 4K. Maybe it'll get a release, but yeah, I don't know. So anyway, where were you on the live chat?
Oh, live chat. We were finished, Rob. Just what I've seen. I talked about the Viking Wolf on Netflix, the Norwegian movie. Pretty nice one from my perspective. I watched Harlequin, the Valentine special, which was totally bonkers, considering what was happening. It went a little bit for me even off the rails at the beginning, at the ending.
Agreed.
This one I haven't finished, but I'm only missing the last episode. And this one was recommended to me from a worker colleague. It is on Hulu in the States and here on Disney Plus under the stars. Bernard, the British series Extraordinary. Have you seen it, Rob? Have you heard about it?
No, but it's what I think about myself every day.
It is about people who have superpowers, not superpowers in general. Everyone has a superpower.
Oh,
or a specifically thing they can do, but only the lead, Jen. You get your special powers at around 18, but she didn't has her special power gotten to it yet. But there are, well, how can I describe it, Rob? Really stupid special powers.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay.
But I love it, Rob. I love it. Totally recommend it, Rob. That you give it a watch on. It's on Hulu in the States.
All right.
Extraordinary. Totally great stuff with funny laughs. And I'm only missing the last episode. Totally can recommend this series. It just shows you what you can do with still the super genre thematically. There's still always new stuff that you can do. Just watch the first episodes, Rob, and you will see if it is for you. It probably will be, even if it is a little bit bonkers here and there. So Extraordinary, a little bit recommendation from me. This was what I have seen. Oh, one thing left, Rob, which I watched on Blu-ray. I think I showed it last week or 2 weeks ago. Totally recommended. I don't know if you have seen it yet, Rob. The Category 3 stuff. The movie, the black and white movie about the serial killer, Limbo.
Oh yeah, is that good?
Totally, Rob. Totally great movie. From the style, the black and white is great. The sound was great. Story, action was in it. So totally, it played at the Berlinale as a special competition, or special, just not in the running for a competition. Totally recommended, but I don't know where it is available in the States. Same on the inside. Limbo. It's called Limbo. Hong Kong movie. Really great movie. Totally can recommend it. 9 out of 10 from me. So this was what I've seen this week.
Well, let's jump into the news.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of news to talk about. First of all, let's start with from Sion Sono, if you like him as a director, Suicide Club, coming out on Blu-ray. Let me put this down so you can see what I'm saying, so you can get the live output. Suicide. I think this was the first Sion Sono movie I ever saw, and the opening of this movie is just bonkers. And I don't want to ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it. I really like this movie. What that says about me, I don't know. But you should watch this movie. I'm a huge fan of this director. I mean, love exposure. The man makes insane movies, and God love him for it. But this was the first film I saw of his, and woohoo! It's going to be on Blu-ray, I think Digitech is putting out or something. Robot Monster. I mean, even I, Yeah, even I, who love my 50s horrible sci-fi films and stuff, it's in 3D. This is not a movie I would normally buy. They put a helmet on a guy in an ape suit and suddenly he's the robot monster. This is not a good movie, but it's in 3D. I'll probably buy it. Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber is putting out a silent film, a Lon Chaney movie that I've never seen, from 1922 called The Trap. And it is a new 4K remaster. I am dying to see this. I don't know anything about it, but I love Lon Chaney and The Trap from 1922. God love Kino Lorber. All hail Kino Lorber. Well done. There is The Toxic Avenger. It's 4 Blu-rays and 4 4K discs. I think it's coming out August 29th. And there you go. 4 Toxic Avenger movies. I'm not, it's not my thing. They've been talking about a remake of the Toxic Avenger like at Warner Brothers. Like Legendary is going to make it. So I don't know what the status is of that. I don't know. But hey, if you're a Toxic Avenger fan, there's another movie that Kino Lorber is also putting out, The Big Bus. And this stars Joseph Bologna, father of Gabe Bologna, director of Tango Shalom. Stockard Channing, John Beck. This has a big cast. This was a wacky parody of disaster movies of the 70s. It's set on a giant nuclear-powered bus. It's wacky. But I always liked this movie when I was a kid. So The Big Bus is coming out, not in 4K, but it's a 4K remaster, and which is, hey, it's very cool. I'm like, I'll watch that. Then we have Dennis Hopper directed this movie, a Backtrack, that stars himself and Jodie Foster. This is a thriller. I really like this movie. I don't think it's a great movie, but I liked it. And again, Kino Lorber is putting it out, the sponsor of this channel. So good for Kino Lorber. I'm very happy to have this out. I mean, I think they're putting out a lot of good stuff. So that's interesting that that's coming out now. Other than the fact that Disney is going to bogart the legacy of Fox again and take credit for Star Wars. I mean, look, Disney, The Force Awakens, and by all means take credit for Rogue One and all that, but why do you have to brand Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi as being part of your 100th anniversary legacy and not say anything about Fox? I said it at the top of the show. I'll say it again. But on that very topic, Warner Brothers has announced, of course, the 100th anniversary studio collection. And I have to say, look, aside from, once again, bogarting the legacy of MGM, which I think is wrong-headed, there's a lot of movies in here. Most of them have been released before. And some, I didn't realize that Empire of the Sun was going to come out. But, there's most of the stuff's previously been released, but it's pretty cool. And if you don't have 4K, Warner Brothers is releasing these sets individually as Blu-rays. And so, for instance, the first one, the 25 film collection, is the award winners. Okay, I understand award winners. Grand Hotel, Mutiny on the Bounty, The Adventures of Robin Hood, Mrs. Miniver, Casablanca, Key Largo, A Streetcar Named Desire, Ben-Hur, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Bonnie and Clyde, Cool Hand Luke, Bullet, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Purple Rain, The Color Purple, Unforgiven, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Mystic River, Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, $1 Million Baby, The Departed, Argo, A Star is Born, and Judas and the Messiah. It's just funny, though, that they're putting this award-winning box set out, but there's no, like, Fellowship of the Ring in it. So you get 2 of the Lord of the Rings movies, but not 3? Dieter, you did not miss something. I don't know why. I guess it's award winners. And again, you get MGM movies. So the second box set is comedies, dramas, and musicals. Okay. 42nd Street, Wizard of Oz, MGM movie. Citizen Kane, RKO movie. Singing in the Rain, I believe is MGM. A Star is Born, Rebel Without a Cause, Dr. Zhivago, The Outsiders, Risky Business. By the way, risky in this press release is misspelled. Riskey. It's just Risky. Risky Business. Gremlins, The Goonies, Little Shop of Horrors, Bullet, Empire of the Sun. Okay, this is a Blu-ray set, so it's not 4K. The Bodyguard, Dumb and Dumber, Friday, Boogie Nights, Selena, Practical Magic, The Iron Giant, Elf, Hairspray, The Hangover, Invictus, and Crazy Rich Asians. Okay. And now we have fantasy, action, and adventure. Superman: The Never-Ending Story, Supergirl, Lethal Weapon, Batman, Twister, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Ocean's 11, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Constantine, V for Vendetta, Pan's Labyrinth, 300, The Dark Knight, Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Aquaman, Shazam, Joker, Birds of Prey, The Suicide Squad, and Black Adam. Okay, if that's what you want to do, go right ahead. Finally, yeah, these are Blu-ray sets. So here's what I don't understand. Okay, I don't know who picked these movies or where they're coming from. 25 film collection, volume 4. Thrillers, sci-fi, and horror. Okay. King Kong, The Maltese Falcon, Children of the Damned, 2001, A Clockwork Orange, The Exorcist, All the President's Men, The Shining, Blade Runner, The Final Cut, A Nightmare on Elm Street, Full Metal Jacket, Goodfellas, Natural Born Killers, The Shawshank Redemption, Interview with a Vampire, 7, The Matrix, The Green Mile, Inception, The Conjuring, Gravity. By the way, where's the Gravity 4K? Hello, McFly. Her, Annabelle, It, and Dune. I don't presume to know the thinking behind all of these things. Where is like the 4K gangster collection? I want Warner Brothers. Look, where's Robert Zemeckis' Contact? Where's the 4K of Contact? Where is it? Apparently it's not part of the 100th anniversary. If you've got an MGM movie, you got 2001, give us 2010. Give us that. Give us Douglas Trumbull's Brainstorm. Why not do just a science fiction box set, a horror box set, a gangster? Warner Brothers is known for their gangster movies, a gangster box set. I don't know why. Why is Goodfellas in the same box set with A Nightmare on Elm Street? I mean, call me crazy. Why is The Maltese Falcon in the same set as The Exorcist? Don't know. Again,
don't know. It's a critical thing, I would say.
I'm sure, who's probably more upset about this than anyone? George Feltenstein. Because he's probably thinking to himself, wait, what? Because, he's Warner Archive. These are, look, I'm glad that these are all going to be collected in sets, but in terms of the curation and thought process behind these releases, I do not presume to understand them. They were locked into, it's 100 years, 100 great movies. I get it. I understand. But why break it into these weird sets that don't have anything to do with one another? Just say, like the AFI list, make it curate the 100 greatest Warner Brothers movies. Like, why didn't they go out to, like, as chosen by the world's greatest filmmakers and say, okay, here's our list of movies that were under consideration. Give us a list of the 100 greatest Warner Brothers movies and make it that way. And then you could have done a documentary about all the filmmakers that weighed in, and have them talk about the movies that they loved. And go to AFI. AFI has their 100 greatest list of movies of all time. Why not have the people at AFI, the faculty, weigh in? And they could have done something really kind of clever, but no, now we get weird sets of whatever. It's fine.
And mostly the movies are already released, so there's nothing really special about it. So it's not like a Sony set where you have perhaps 2 or 3 titles are released, but the rest is only available in the box set at the moment.
Yeah, and look, the 4K Ultra HD Studio Collection. I'm still trying to find as I'm looking here. I thought I'd found the list. Okay. In 4K, the list, the 100th Studio Collection in 4K. Here's some of the featured movies. Classic Hollywood, 2001, Casablanca, Citizen Kane, Cool Hand Luke, which is new, East of Eden, Maltese Falcon, that's new, Rebel Without a Cause, I believe that's new in 4K, Rio Bravo, maybe new, Singing in the Rain, Wizard of Oz, MGM title. MGM titles. New Hollywood, Clockwork Orange, Batman, Beetlejuice, Blade Runner, Enter the Dragon. I think that's come out. The Exorcist, The Goonies in 4K. Woohoo. Superman the movie. The Shining, Willy Wonka, 4K. Then we got A Star is Born, Argo, Elvis, Goodfellas, It, Mad Max Fury Road, The Matrix, Shawshank Redemption, Training Day in 4K. That's coming out. So most things are already out. And there's a lot of commentaries and things, but it's, you would think that there would be more, we'd get more than this, like stuff we don't have yet. And it's coming. I mean, Cool Hand Luke, they've announced a few titles. As a matter of fact, I should have put those up as news this week, but it's all part of the Warner Brothers set. It's fine. Yeah. What I look at the Columbia Pictures box sets where they collected, those individual sets where they put out 12 movies a set. And they were all new to Blu-ray or 4K.
Exactly.
And that's why you bought those sets. Yeah. And anyway. Now to finish off the news of the week, let's look at the bestsellers. These are the top 10 Blu-rays for the week of February 4th. Black Adam, Top Gun, Violent Night, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I don't know what Mind Cage is. Event Horizon, re-released in 4K. Young Sherlock Holmes, love seeing that on the list. Dawn of the Dead, Halloween Ends, and House of the Dragon. No big surprises, but it's great to see Young Sherlock Holmes because, man, that took a long time to get to Blu-ray. Wish it was 4K, but I'll take it. These are the top media sellers overall. That means everything. And remember, DVD, as we know from our pie chart, DVD is still 43% of the market. Blu-ray is 32%. UHD 4K is 23% of the market as of November of last year. So, overall, for all those, Black Adam, Violent Night, Top Gun Maverick, Top Gun, Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's pretty cool. Then we've got our favorite 3D top sellers for the week. They still can't confirm. They think that Snow White and the Huntsman Winter's War is a mistake. They say that disc doesn't exist. It's hilarious. And if you look at... No, it doesn't. So what is that? I don't know. They say, though, that for a 0.48%, what is that? Is that like 5 people bought it? Top Gun 3D is 38%. The Wizard of Oz 3D is 0.09%. And Aquaman 3D is 0.05% of total unit sales. That's not good. So, but hey, people are still, they keep me hanging on. And then finally, the top 4K discs of the week ending February 4th, Dawn of the Dead 4K, Event Horizon 4K, Everything Everywhere All at Once 4K, Groundhog Day, I keep forgetting about that, Groundhog Day 4K, and House of the Dragon. So nice. There we go. There we are at. So, hey, what can I say, man? That's all the news that's fit to print, okay. Deets.
Nice. Do we have some super chats left, or
you know what? I don't know. Let me look. Let me check. And yeah, we have a few. Yep. Interesting. So, Ernest Rister says that James Cameron said a few years ago that after 9/11, True Lies just wasn't funny anymore. Might explain why there's no Blu-ray. The Abyss is too close to home post-Heard divorce. I think this has to do more with Lightstorm more than anything else. I mean, maybe that's true of True Lies, but it's a great action movie too.
Yeah, still.
That might be true, but again, the Abyss, True Lies, these are the movies that haven't come out. The Abyss, True Lies, and then Soderbergh's Solaris and Catherine Bigelow's Strange Days. Solaris and Strange Days are like out in Germany, but they've never been released domestically on Blu-ray or 4K. And I think it's more of a Lightstorm issue than anything else, which is kind of a bummer. But the Alex Zorba says, Rob, I'm back with Paramount Plus based on your thoughts on Season 3. Take my dollars for Free Enterprise in HD. Now, none of us are getting any younger. Rock on, boys. Well, the Alex Zorba, hopefully that'll be the case this year. Danzig 1979 says, question, do you think we... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Danzig.
Danzig 1979 says, do you think we could get a 4K release of Batman Mask of the Phantasm in time for its 30th birthday in December? I would also love Superman Returns. Well, unfortunately, because of Bryan Singer and Kevin Spacey's troubles, there isn't a lot of enthusiasm at the studio to release Superman Returns, which is too bad because I'd love to update my documentaries. But I think Warner Archive, I could see Warner Archive releasing a 4K of Batman Mask of the Phantasm. I could. Maybe I could ask George Feltenstein about that. I'd love to get that in 4K. I love that movie. Ron C's been a member for 24 months. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate that. Our friend Terrier.
Hey.
Terrier says, I saw Arrow's 4K of Frankenstein from 1994. Is that Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein? I did not like that movie when I saw it originally. I didn't either. But it has aged well, like fine wines stitched together. And Terrier also gave out a Burnettwork membership. Thank you, Terrier.
Nice.
Raymond Reddington says, where did you get your Star Trek shirt, Rob? This is, of course, my Terry Trek shirt. It's got the cast of Star Trek Picard Season 3 on it. And Terry Matalas himself is, in the middle? He's right there. The Popcast guys made it. They've made Terry Trek merch. There's a baseball hat. It's good stuff. So go over to the Popcast guys. They'll have a link where you can buy. Everybody should buy their Terry Trek shirts because why not? And so far, that is all the news that is fit to print.
Nice.
We're good.
Good.
I have nothing more to say, dude.
That's actually great, Rob, because I have early shift tomorrow, so it would be great if we come to a close.
Let's come to a close, man. Let's end this shindig.
Yeah, because I have early shift. Next week is a little bit different. Then we can go longer as long as we have titles to.
You mean you're not going to stay up and watch the Super Bowl?
No, unfortunately not, Rob.
Okay, well, let me ask you, Eagles or Chiefs, buddy? Eagles or Chiefs?
I have no stakes in it, and I don't know which is the better team, Rob. I can say something yet now, but it would be just an assumption without any knowledge.
Okay.
But Rob, you give us the tips considering the soccer without any knowledge. So I would say, okay, Eagles. There you go. Without any knowledge.
Okay.
Rob.
I'll hold you to that. All right. Well, that brings us an end to Let's Get Physical Media 98. We are 2 weeks away from the big giveaway. Not the kind of the big giveaway that happens in Halloween 3, but the big giveaway for this box set. And if you want to put yourself in the running for this $300 brand new unopened Sony Pictures Classics 4K box set, just write us a letter and tell us why you love physical media. On the 100th show, we will have already actually the deadline would be next week because the deadline would be next week because then we are going to make all the entries. We're going to pick the top 3. We're going to make the entries available, and we're going to have a poll probably on the website. And you guys, you imagination connoisseurs, you members of the Post-Geek Singularity community will pick which one you will love. We have Marvel's Phase 5 begins this week with the 31st film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Can you believe they've made 31 movies? Quantum Mania. Of course, we get Guardians of the Galaxy in May. We get Secret Invasion. I can't wait to see that. We get the Marvels. It's they're still putting out movies. It's crazy. And then we get Picard Season 3 this week. And, of course, Last of Us Episode 5. Are you watching Last of Us?
Of course.
Did you watch Episode 5?
Nice. It's still nicely trucking, tying to the games, but a little bit different. But for me, it's as close as you can get to a video game.
Yeah, and it's a great adaptation. I mean, if it's not your thing, I get it. But, wow, what an emotional wallop that episode packed.
Yeah.
It wrecks me every week. That their job to make me more depressed? But it's well done.
Considering such a show, it probably is, Rob.
True.
Was the last super chat coming in, Rob?
Well, there could have been. I don't know.
There was a last super
but
chat.
There was. Daniel Stenistam says he said grill teller. What is grill teller?
Grill teller. Yeah. A teller is a teller. No, I don't know the English word. Come on, I'm just stupid. Rob. Teller is
Hey.
God damn it. Blade. It's just a blade, and grill is grilling, Rob. Grilling. Grill blade. Grill blade.
Is that because it's the Super Bowl and I'm supposed to go barbecue?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right,
Something
Super
like
Bowl. And then Adam Pereira is a friend of the
Yeah.
channel, became a new member. Thank
Nice.
you, Adam. I appreciate that. Remember, next week, for all you members, we have member chats every other Saturday. They're hosted by Roberto Suarez, and we usually stay on for 3 or 4 hours, and we just chat, talk. It's fun.
Yeah.
And so that's it for Let's Get Physical Media, episode 98.
Exactly.
And I'm working on
So
putting
I
together
wish-
our 100th episode extravaganza.
And I wish you a nice Super Bowl Sunday, everyone. And I say, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear. And all you have to do is listen. And with that, I say to everybody, have a better day and enjoy the Super Bowl. Go Chiefs.